Welcome to our latest session with Fire Emblem Engage. We are going to proceed with the second of the two paralogs that unlock at the close of Chapter 17 of the main campaign. In the previous stream, which we just dedicated to one map, we cleared Sigurd's paralog, Sigurd from Fire Emblem 4, Genealogy of the Holy War, and now we're going to be doing the one for Leaf from Fire Emblem 5, Thracia 776, which never left Japan on the Super Nintendo, Super Famicom, I should say. And because we are continuing pretty much directly, not much to say about our party configuration, other than having moved Sigurd's ring onto Seedall after having Sigurd return to the party, because I think putting all of those high movement skills on a dancer is going to have the highest potential to be hilarious. We don't really know what we're getting into here, so let's just get into the paralog, which is entitled Bridges in a Row, or rather, I guess the place is Bridges in a Row, and the title will be something completely different. How many bridges in a row? We're about to find out. And as usual, we're going to take our time with the party set up to plan out turn number 1 before we really commit to anything here in the Sage Lord.
Something about this place is really off.
It appears to be the River Thracia.
Is this someplace in your world?
In looks, it is quite close enough to a stretch of ground where I once stood. The River Thracia was a beautiful, broad river.
I can't imagine someplace as serene as this.
This is where I faced the genius tactician Sias, Reinhardt, a powerful man said to be the Crusader Thrud reborn. It was a difficult battle.
So why does this place look like that?
I do not know for certain. I sense a mighty force emanating from here.
Trial?
I want you to fight me here. If you overcome that trial, that bond will bring with it power we cannot do without.
Winning a battle against you is my trial?
Good. Victory is your only way forward.
Alright, as with all of the previous Emblem paralogs, this will be once again based on a map that is from the original game. Thracia 776 is not a game that I really know at all, so we won't really recognize the terrain or the scenario well enough to offer any special commentary on that, but let's see what we're dealing with. We have, first of all, 11 units in the party. That's kind of down by 1. I previously had Leaf's ring assigned to Alchrist, and of course Leaf is unavailable, but Alchrist, I guess, will just sit this one out for the time being. As I've been saying for the past couple sessions, our party is currently very top-heavy, where there is a very clear core group of about a dozen units, and a pretty sharp drop-off in level experience and inventory loadouts past that point, and so we may just have to stick with that for the time being. I do think that maybe the party setup has become a little bit one-dimensional for me at this point in the game, but that's because the maps do tend to be just hard enough that I don't want to take any chances or focus too much on leveling up the backline, at least in the paralogs, which do tend to be tougher than the equivalent chapters that have been unlocked in the main campaign, with very few exceptions. So let's take a look at what we are going to be dealing with here. We'll probably keep more or less this core team, unless we want to sub in Alchrist or Yunaka or one of those characters who are just kind of right outside our top line. Now we have the boss over here. There's going to be Leaf with the Light Brand, which is going to have a magic attack. Now Leaf is kind of this multiple weapon master, and given the skills that he has, it looks like he pretty much always defends with weapon advantage. And yeah, because of that, he's going to have 3 separate weapons available to him, and I think probably the best idea when we get to him is to just get out of the weapon triangle entirely and try to hit him with mages, bows, fists, weapons like that instead, so we don't deal with the rotating defense. We would, of course, have to deal with choosing between a magic and a physical attack, and we'd be able to perhaps force him in one of those, dependent on the weapon triangle advantage, but we can't really break him with the weapon triangle, unfortunately, because I don't think we'll ever have the upper hand with that. We also have to be aware of the fact that he is a backup class, something that we've miscalculated many times in this game before, and that if he is in the neighborhood, he may do some extra damage to us that we can't account for. So, looking at this, we have a lot of mages in this cluster here, all Mage Knight cavalry, pretty much, with skills that are tuned to have an advantage against non-magic users, I guess, because it's either magic versus physical or physical versus magic. That chaos style is going to activate and become an issue. Sorry, let's change my display again if I can. Yeah, physical attack here, magic attack high, but not so high that we can't tank against it with one of my better magic users. Pretty high speed on these guys in the back, though. We need to watch out for that because we can't really have one of my big physical tanks and face off against that, I don't think. Even though I think Jean's resistance, especially with Erica on board, is pretty good. It's 29 resistance plus the 3 damage reduction from Erica. Jean can probably take a lot of that. Pandreo has a really high resilience, I think we determined last time. Where is he? Yeah, about 35 resilience. So we do have some options when it comes to soaking these attacks, as long as they don't come in at the same time as their physical counterparts. Now we have a couple of other enemies that have boss life bars over here. These are just the optional objectives, I think. Which, if the last paralog was any indication, may be based upon party members or enemy party members from the original game as well. Possibly based on significant named units, because they will have that additional life bar, they will be lootable. They will be a problem to get to if we're fighting Leaf at the same time, and keeping an eye on the mission objective, which is that the map will be cleared as soon as Leaf goes down. Other than that, we have ballistas all over the place. A pretty significant range of that. It's going to be, what, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 range on the ballistas, or ballistae, as may be the case. Only 3 charges on them, though, and so we can probably just soak it up just fine. Got about a 39 attack on that, and what is the skill on the archer? Crit plus 10? I don't know if that applies to ballista. I wouldn't necessarily assume that it does, given that the unit isn't using its own bow. And we got a pretty high armor cluster over here. Yeah, we can probably deal with that as long as we just soak the damage and run some magic attackers in here and nuke them all at once. We'd have to be aware of the amount of archery going on here, because I have been consistently taking in 2 flyers most of the time, and we just need to keep them out of archery range. Okay, let's think about this. It seems like it's all physical attack on this side, which means that we can probably run in with our high physical defenders right away and start nuking. Like if you kind of have... what is it? Yeah, Jean for sure, Louis for sure. Louis kind of coming in and soaking up everything with Ike, as he had done previously. And so I think the risk factor is just, you know, if you take too long on the left side, do the cavalry, where the Mage Knights actively chase you down and try to cross the bridge and merge with the rest of the group, or do they stay back until you actually get in to fight them? Because if they stay back, we're in pretty decent shape so long as we take out the ballistas. This one I notice is probably within range of Astra right off the bat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Basically, if we got, what is it, Chloe over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She could potentially drop Astra in the sky. The issue, of course, is that since we don't really need to take this one out urgently, if I take it out now, I don't want to prematurely activate everybody over here. Or maybe we do, because then we can just kind of pull them out into a more advantageous place to fight them. But I think we'll want to clear out the left side as soon as possible, particularly clearing the ballistas over here. With only 3 charges, I don't think my own archers are going to do much with that offensively. So we get in here, we control our bridge, we nuke these guys with magic, and the mage cluster will just have to deal with when a time comes, especially if they move with Leaf simultaneously. And yeah, just have to mark all the ballistas and watch their range. I think that's all there is to it. Okay, let's plan the attack. We want Chloe in this corner, as I said before. We probably want Louis up front so we can... how many movement points does he have after that? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can kind of get as far as this slot over here, I think. Unless there's a better place for him to stand. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I think it's likely to be here. Then he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and hit this guy for a lot. Yeah, he's got enough physical attack that he'll actually just, so long as the hit rate works out, cut through this guy like butter. And then we could even run... Yeah, because the idea is to kind of double up on him with Sigurd. If we can find... or Seedall, rather. Seedall. Seedall could come down here, get into woods, and he would be safe. Yeah, he'd be safe so long as this guy gets taken out. And we could even look at maybe taking out ballistas early. There's an extra bow here we should probably take care of. It's a brave bow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Basically need to get Chloe past these rocks here, which you can do almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You need to give her an additional slot, which means possibly a push with Marin if you can do it. Get Marin in the backline here and push Chloe up one spot. Then go and a hit. Also, this is an interesting question. If you use Seedall to reactivate, Seedall has Canter and can move 2 spaces up. So how far do we move him? Well, it depends on whether we can take out this guy. Because otherwise Seedall should probably stay back. So can we take out that guy? Let's see. So we have Ivy. So we have Seedall back here. No, that would do it. Because then he can move up 2 spots and go over here. Ivy is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and she has 3 range. She can do a magic attack on this guy, but not much more than that. And yeah, if I give the push as Marin here, I don't think we're necessarily able to take out this guy on a first turn, although it might be interesting to try. But basically we'll have these units in the front line. We'll have to keep the flyers back somewhat. We have Ivy sort of as insurance to nuke this guy with magic damage if it comes to that. And we could also have Louis going down here and attacking with Javelin over to the right side, although I don't think that'll get to kill Javelin, or Spear rather. Spear is 46. No, it will not. In that case, let's see, Citrine back here, Fagato, Pentreo. Yeah, we want John a little further up front because you'll want him to run up as soon as he can. Yeah, probably somebody who can actually run out back here without being obstructed too much by the woods. High movement of Fagato coming through here is probably ideal. And yeah, I mean, it makes more sense. If we know what we're going to do to push as Marin, it makes more sense to put Marin in the back corner here and come here and push once we've vacated that spot with somebody else, like Citrine, for instance. We will not get much done, at least on the first turn. We move Sino over here. Do we have... Yeah, we have Longbow on Fagato. That's pretty much it. In fact, if Fagato comes here, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's just a little out of range. Maybe makes more sense to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, just totally out of range. I think we'll probably keep this kind of setup though. Pendreo we want available for warping purposes if necessary. I'll just mark all the bows after that. And we'll see if there's any kind of additional wrinkle to the scenario, be it reinforcements or anything else, but we'll be taking advantage of some of the weak spots around the ballistas as well. I'm sure that will be the way to do it. Okay, so let's do a quick inventory check. Just to make sure everything is ship shape. I think we're probably going to be fine. And as before, we'll have Seedall running staves around to supply the various casters as need be. I think it'll work. Maybe a little low on some of the heals, but that's okay. We usually do things quickly enough that we just don't have enough turns to really do tons of healing anyhow. So let's save. Nope, we don't want to return to the world map. Let's just do a bit of a final check here to make sure we're not dealing with any surprise anti-armor weapons or something, because that would be very unfortunate. And yeah, if you look at the attack numbers here, nobody here is going to make the slightest dent on Louis. We'll need to maybe watch over the staves at the back, but even so. I kind of suspect that maybe the Mage Knights are going to try to race you here at some point, but let's save it. No, we saved already. Let's just fight. Okay, there's our objective.
I will stand my ground. No
running. No running, no hiding. Oh, well, that means he's going to run at me because he certainly has his movement unlocked. Anyway, let's make sure we mark bows. How did my range markers get this messy in the first place? Whose range am I even marking here? Hang on. Okay, right, so this is the general range marker. Ah, I see, because ballistas kind of have their own indicator beyond that. And then what's the red zone? The red zone probably is spellcasting of some sort. Unless it's just ballistas. Anyway. We definitely want to mark ballista range across the board. Mark the archers that can access the ballistas as well. Unfortunately, that just makes the whole map red, which would not be great. Just for visibility reasons, I guess we'll mark some of the cavalry later when we are ready. And we'll definitely want to mark Leaf, just in case. This guy looks like he just doesn't move, really. Which is good, because we'll eventually just get in there and nuke him with magic or something. And try to loot him. Same with this guy, except low defense, high resilience. This guy is the opposite. Anyway, let's stick to more or less the plan. I do want to test out the engage ability just to see if we can, in fact, one-shot the ballistas using Astra. We cannot. So that's important, because if we can't one-shot them, then we can't rely on that ability to just rush in somewhere and nuke a ballista, which means also that because we've got defense 17 over there, defense 17 and all these archers, yeah, we don't want to get within ballista range just to try to snipe an archer. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would be out of ballista range. So if you get Chloe down here to drop Astra, we might still be in okay shape. Anyway, let's see what we can do with
I hear you.
all of these guys. We should see if the Thunder will do very much against them. It'll do a lot, but will fall just slightly short. Oh yeah, we determined too that Louis not going to do much javelin-wise. However, what he could do potentially is swap. Where's Seedall? Over here. And Seedall's range is pretty much unlimited if you use Sigurd's ability, so we don't need to worry too much about him. Because I'm thinking that if you kind of get Ivy over here, and if you get Louis to swap, And Lou's going to be up in this front position and have 6 movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5 movement points, which would then allow me to snipe this guy as well. So if you could actually...
Nice, nice.
Give Ivy just additional 4 damage from something. Like, for example...
I've got this.
Yeah, that's gotta be bad. Or if you just push her, in fact. Because we're not using Chloe right away or Astra on her turn. And Ivy can maybe be the one who gets pushed. And if she gets pushed by 1 spot, then she can come in here. Oh no, that doesn't work because... no, that doesn't work at all. What if Avatar gets pushed? Then it's going to be... How many movement points here? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll see. Because of that 4-point deficit here, I don't think this quite works unless we find a way to buff her up. That's okay. Let's just keep things simple then. We'll just get Louis up here.
Shall we dance?
Just dance. Then, yeah, we'll get him up here on the assumption that we're going to kill this guy. And just to make sure we get enough movement in. Ah, right, because if Ivy comes in with an additional point of movement, you can actually snipe this guy. I think we'd be able to do that anyway, though, if we... Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I smell gold.
Let's just try to move units out of the way.
Yes.
Notably these units. So we can determine who we would want to push as Marin, because Marin can push either Ivy or Chloe into range to deal with this guy. Defense 13, res 9. Same stats as his compatriot over there. So we know that Ivy's going to fall a few damage short. Unless she gets buffed up somehow. Chloe, on the other hand, if she comes in, she would be using her ranged weapon. She'd be using Javelin. And she'd hit twice. 30 damage. That'd be 17, 17, not quite enough. Unless she has some kind of crit or something. Oh, she does have bows, but only if she engages one. But she could also potentially still go for the Astra on the Brave Bow. The way that I indicated before, because at least that would soften it up nice and early. I don't know about that. So we go Louis and Ike over here. A spear, as we determined, doesn't quite kill. Yeah, we just keep it simple. We let the other guy attack in. We'll just play cautiously this turn, and if we can do some kind of big rush down on the next turn. I did not account for the fact that Anna would be within range for a backup attack. We should have considered that, in fact. Because that would have resolved a few things here. If we could have had the backup attack combined with Ivy going in for the snipe. Which maybe we should have done. Okay. This guy's a melee. If we send someone in this spot, it can hit him for something at range, so... And without being hit back. Maybe we should go for that then.
Understood.
We'll just go shove. Then first of all, let's test this out again. I don't think it will make a difference. Yeah, it doesn't quite nuke this guy, so let's not waste that. Let's save it for when we need it. As long as we always stay out of bow range. Whose staff is it that is reaching at that range anyway? Because it looks like we're kind of within staff range of something, but can't quite determine what it is. Ah, silence. Okay, there we go. That's okay, we'll just be careful with our staff users, or we try to absorb silence for as many turns as possible, because it only has 3 charges on it. Anyhow. So maybe we do want to deliberately send someone in range of silence. Just to bait it. Because then you can just go like this. 4. Yeah. Too bad it falls just short.
My pleasure.
Anyway, let's move our units up. We can always warp somebody up there, of course, if we want to attack in melee range, but I doubt that will be the right call. Yeah, given these cliffs over here, we do just want to walk somebody down on the left side. Past the woods. And yeah, I got 11% crit. Maybe something will crit. Who knows?
I'm ready to dig in.
Like I said, maybe something will crit. 11%? That's not bad. That does give me something. We'll put silence on a convoy. We can always trade it onto somebody off the convoy later, which I think we'll probably do. Yeah, so this is just spell range, and this is attack range. Which means we can probably afford to go straight down. Nobody's even going to attack into Louis at this point, right? Maybe a few. But they're not going to do a thing. So. No need to do anything here. I mean, we could have just dropped a Dragon Vein for its own sake, but... And yeah, Pedro... over here. Avatar should just come over here. Let's see what happens, whether the riders will ride or anything like that. That was a surprising amount of damage, actually. That 12 damage we saw just now. Maybe a bit more than expected. Well, let's see. Right, grants crit plus 10 with a unit that can't counter. That was all it did, okay. Against defense 42, I guess that makes sense. I guess at this point we just send him down and continue attacking. Spear. It's possible, as long as we don't die to Ballista. Let's take a look at this Ballista range again. Deactivate this guy. Ballista range is pretty considerable. It's about 12 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we can't take flyers into that zone yet. And what happened to the silence here? Did it actually get activated, or should have? No. Let's think about that. Ah, yes, she's frozen to 0 movement. That's understandable. That's what we expected from a free staff. I just didn't necessarily comment on it. Yeah, freeze 2. That's fine. The other thing we can do is also just use Ike's power down here. everybody will try to come in and get within range, and then you just whack them afterwards and heal up for a couple of points. I don't know if we want to burn it right away, though. This might be fun without it for the time being. How did I take 12 damage? Oh, attack plus 15 on the ballista. Maybe that's it. I didn't realize that the attack plus 15 is calculated separately from the physical attack that's already listed as part of the weapon. Okay, no. That's definitely it, because 15 and 39, this could be a 54 attack, and he took 12 damage. I don't know if that adds up, but it's something like that. What we need to deal with. Which is why you don't just walk into the ballistas yet. Especially if you are Seedal and would need to, after reactivating him, probably duck out of there. Seedal will go this far. And that said, it might be possible to take Pandora doesn't quite go far enough, but you could always pass a staff over to Ivy. Ivy could should be within the ballista range. Let's just be careful here. We could just send Louis down here for a solo show of sorts. Because he won't really take any punishment. Yeah, the previous strategy with putting Sigurd on Louis instead would have been very useful here, because he would just get into the middle of the map and bomb everybody out. But, failing that, we dive in with the flyers and rescue them out. We can do a couple of other things. Possibly even push with Marin. Might be interesting, because then you could do a bow attack down. No, that's not it. Yeah, because you get Seedal down here, it reactivates Louis here. And after taking out this guy for the most part, yeah, that's gonna be a little too risky. We just get in there and kill what we can, I think. Possibly go for the Ike power immediately. Because how much will that do? 52. 55. 55. Not quite. Oh yeah, would actually, yeah. Kill everything, so in that case, let's just move him in. See if we can attract more attention. Might even double him up and... yeah, because Seedal can go as far as here and still pull back out. Or even as far as here and then pull back out this way. As long as the bow is taken out. So in fact, do this. Seedal would come here and pull back a couple spots. I miscalculated something, didn't I? I think I did slightly miscalculate it. 39 damage. No, he'll live though. Just barely. Anyway, this guy's gonna come in. Yeah, I did miscalculate by 1 square. That's okay. Now, because this is the one I'm worried about. If we kill it directly, then no problem. Does it go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah. He only hits this tile from this square or this square. We just don't let him go to that square. I think it's fine. Could even have done a tile beyond that. Yeah, because if you stop him here, then he can't go up. Silver Great Lance isn't quite going to do it. What we will do is we will engage here. Might be a little premature, but it'll bolster the defense quite a bit, so, and heal up.
Won't you join me?
And we've got some refresh pods down below, so 3 of them in fact, so yeah, that'll be good. And go Ether with Irvan. They should be able to take out the 2 spears. And now that prevents an attack on Seedall up here. And now we just bunch everybody else in. Prepare them for the big push. Sure, we can shove. Get her into position as soon as we can. Just basically give the enemy too much to hit when it comes to their spells. And exhaust the staves nice and early. Now, who can actually hit this location? You can still hit this location, so. Yeah, archers, let's stay back for the time being. You can also come this way. Switch this speed here just in case. I don't think I miscalculated. No, it shouldn't have. And Sean can come here with a shielding stance. Hang on. Let me get defense over here plus the additional 3 damage reduction. He's going to be okay. He can definitely walk up there and tell the tale, I'm sure. Because you do want him up front as soon as you can. And yeah, do that. Create as much room as possible. Okay, and Chloe can't do anything. She'll just stay under. Kill the lens for a moment. See if we calculated this correctly. Who's the backup who's doing the 2 damage? Oh no, that's just a ×2. 0 times 2. Whoa. That hit rather harder than I expected. Yeah, that's why we let our guy solo everything he can. Now, if he gets hit by break, does he still use Ike's power? He does not. Never really ran away. How did he? Oh, okay. Okay, not a very effective use of power then, because we just ended up with 2 hits, so. Right, because these guys just ran away to avoid certain destruction after they were standing there for backup attacks, so And also his movement is frozen, isn't it? Yeah. That's okay, we'll just attack in. What is it, 39? I feel like I should use Byleth's power to get as many units in here as possible to try to immediately kill both of these at once. Like, use a combination of warps or whatever else to make that happen. Or chain guards, for that matter. Chain guard would also prevent ballista damage, and I think that's what we need to have happen. As long as we don't have a spot where two ballistas overlap, which sadly is going to be the case here. So, and one more ballista shot in this end will disable it, so we're probably fine. I think what we'll actually do then is stand somebody over here and chain guard into them with Jean, so long as Jean is completely healed up, which we will need to do. In fact, have Jean just guard an entire cluster if he is healed up. He can come down here and basically guard a whole quad. Which means, yeah, we stand 4 units over here. Somebody can attack into the bow from range. And who's it going to be? Yeah, and then we just absorb 1 damage with Chain Guard. As long as nobody else is going to hit this area, so. This means that we're fairly certain that this is going to move here. Yeah, too bad about Ike's power, we just barely got any mileage out of it then.
You'll get no sympathy from me.
Ether this time around. And yeah, Chain Guard here, unless we... No, it'll have to be him. We'll have to be really careful about this area because everything here is kind of within ballista range. Everything up there, in fact. All the way up to John's position here, so we don't want to run around too much. Anyway, let's get somebody who can hit this. For example, that would hit for 29%. Yeah, okay, he's in the woods as a covert class. That's going to require a mage to fish him out. It's 100%. Yeah, she'll do it. And we will definitely need to guard her, or the ballista is going to wreck her, which means we do need a full heal on John from somebody. It'll have to be Andreo. And then they'll get in there and defend. Maybe even in a middle position here, so we don't get everybody trapped in the woods on the left side. We know... Oh, and Seedall can even double up and get back into position afterwards, which is nice, except for the fact that Louis and Ike will not be useful this round. Now let's see. Using the ballista property as well, you can actually protect your flyers on the way up the map. I don't like that. Where's Jean? Jean can go here. Yeah, you need to protect these locations. Get both flyers in. And we just keep creeping up with Chain Guard, perhaps. Although that won't work against two ballistas at once, but this one will be exhausted very shortly, so I think this will be fine. Because then you can get them in a position as soon as possible. So the idea here would be to put Chloe in this position. Maybe Inquiring over here. We'll drop a Dragon Vein as well, because that way, after the Chain Guard or after a direct attack at John, he can recover immediately. Yeah, John will come down here to Chain Guard in a moment, as soon as we determine who's going to go here. Interestingly enough, that means Cedal doesn't really have much to do this round. I mean, he should be protected at this stage. Anyone else just dance at anybody he likes to refresh them. Let's go Avatar down here. Now, we can also refresh Pandreo to get a second series of Chain Guards, in fact. Oh, I like that a lot, because then you get Cedal over here, and Cedal can run into position down here. And you have one set of Chain Guards over here, and a second set of Chain Guards, perhaps, down in a lower cluster. If Pandreo is able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he can go down into this lower location, and then we'd have 2 defended clusters ready to go. And you can move the whole squad up gradually. No, he can't. No, you can't, because Pandreo can't Chain Guard. He's not a G adept. It's just mystical. So never mind. Yeah, glad I caught myself before I tried something silly like that. And yeah, we'll do something here. Probably here. Wait. Then we'll be engaged on... I know, not engaged. Chain Guard on everybody around me. Still on Shielding Art, right? Yeah, good. And then I think everybody else has to hold position unless we're very confident in their defense. Which we are not. And yeah, I'd like to push on ahead further, but I think we do need to freeze the location for just a moment and hold back this turn. In fact, we can even put Marin over here and reactivate her with Cedal just for the XP. For instance, we'll just do this and then be a bit of a dummy move, but then we freeze some location. Yeah, we'll just hold the position this turn. Soak up the ballista, and then try again with the next ballista. Just to move up. And hopefully Chain Guard works the way I think it will. See it. Yep. Obviously trying to target the flyer. That's first priority. That'll be fine. So if one ballista down, you can probably just try to get in there and target the next one, depending on whether the freeze staff remains an issue. Oh, we got some movement. And some reinforcements. So, that's just trading out. Oh, I see. They contain loot. Oh, that's too bad. I should have gone for the speed wing. We should use Chloe to try to snipe the speed wing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if we'll be able to. Defense 13, I think we can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 10 here. If she comes here, she's going to be decently defended. Oh no, that's Ivy, okay. Oh, that's too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, if we can get Chloe in position to snipe this guy. I didn't realize that they would run because they're running off of the loot. And I do want that speed wing. So we'll try to make it happen. We'll try to maybe use Seed All to get Chloe to run into that position on the right instead. How many freeze staves are we talking about here? That okay, this guy's out of gas. Silence still has one available, but this will be the last freeze or fracture. Which means we can also run in a restore, perhaps. But in general, I think we should go for some kind of bust. Citrine will not quite reach this. Or will Ivy? Although, what is it? Resistance 13? Eh. Speed 20, though. Let's see. Yeah, she can go over here. Basically engage and... we actually need to restore. And perhaps get rid of the freeze lock. I have to grab a restore staff somewhere. Off the convoy, probably. Okay, yeah, no, this was a mistake. I should have paid attention to the fact that these guys were running, not because of being in range of Louis, but because they were holding valuable loot. Don't particularly care about pure water. I think we've not really been using many consumables like that, but... yeah, that is a pretty significant set of reinforcements over here. Level 20 on some of them, but those are level 20 base classes, so not too much of an issue, but enough to be a concern. Anyway, this guy is no longer using a ballista, so as long as he does not walk over to this ballista, and he's not going to walk anywhere, then we mostly just worry about that single one right now, which means we can walk everybody into another chain guard cluster as well. Yeah, interesting that chain guard that time didn't... oh, it did take damage because Ivy's Dragon Vein restored me back to full, which is exactly what I wanted to have happen. In that case, we can move the whole cluster down, and then... where is Seedall? He can... and then refresh Chloe off one of these positions, and then she'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be her minimum position right here. So we can go with her here. And then she'll try to snipe the Speedwing guy. We'll just have to resign ourselves to missing the pure water guy. But it'll be from this spot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't even need it necessarily, even this spot will do, but this spot, well, we'll see. Do we mark all the bows? Yeah, let's be careful here. 1, 2, 3, hang on. 2. Okay, that's not within range. Alright, so we'll park her in this location if we can. Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Seedall will go down here and probably move further down that point. Jean can go as far as here, which means anybody sort of in this quad will be okay. Okay, I think we know what to do. So Jean's maximum extent, once again, is going to be here. That means we can form a quad underneath Louis, and to the left. Which means Chloe in that position. And Seedall going dance they're here and then moving up. And yeah, we should be able to chain guard everybody. Okay. In fact, we can swap Louis up a spot, except we'd still need to guard past that point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's fine. That's fine. Anyway, over here. In fact, after this, she can start dropping the clones as well and probably wreak havoc over on the right side in some fashion.
It's just like
This had better get a kill, because if it doesn't, then this will be less than effective. Okay, there we go. This will kill. That's the Speedwing guy, right? Yeah, should do it.
Now I have you. On guard!
Lost that.
A good wind.
Good. Then she should not be vulnerable there. Be hit with a staff or something, but we can potentially rescue her out if that's the case. Anyway, everybody here is going to go, and then we'll drop a healing location with Ivy again. Because that will keep Jean topped off. We'll need to make sure that this bow doesn't hit. Okay, good. Then, yeah, nobody here will do anything, other than the silence, perhaps. So it'll be Dragon Vein here. Jean over here, which means somebody above and somebody below. Doesn't matter too much which. Yeah, let's do that. And Citrin, give me the next one to go down. And then Jean will come over here and chain guard. We'll just move the whole cluster down. Chain guard being a new mechanic introduced in Fire Move Engage is something I'm still learning to strategize around. But I think we've been doing reasonably for all that. Yeah. And then we'll just go like this. Then can't do anything with Louis here, so we'll end. Let's hope this works. Yeah, once again, Chain Guard will absorb that, and he'll heal up with Dragon Vein immediately. Seems like the silence just dropped an Ivy, that's fine. We've absorbed all the staves at this point. It might be fun to drop some clones of Chloe just to start absorbing some damage from over here, even though against these armored units, I mean, I guess clones do use Manicotti, right? Manicotti does cut through armor. So it might actually be fun. So you get her to drop a wall over here and see what happens. Even though it looks like we will lose the pure water over there. Unfortunately, I can't just claim the fort directly. That would have been fun, but probably not what I can do right this moment. Yeah, I shall probably go down here and just drop a couple of clones here. I'd love to drop it in that location. I can actually, because Axe will hit. This guy would hit if you wanted to, but not much else, so I mean, somebody would need to get rid of one spot first and then attack in with the other. I think. Yeah, we could definitely afford to risk it, I think. Because that's the only unit of concern, if I'm not mistaken. We'll check a little bit thoroughly, just to be sure. Yeah, she'll just drop a cluster of clones over here. You'll have somebody who's potentially avoiding up here. Could be fun. But before we do that, let's get down here. Looks like silence didn't do anything to her. Who got silenced then, if anybody? Looks like we're fine. Oh, let's see. Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, then we just attack in. And bust everybody down. Maybe even send Louis up front. Seedall can always refresh somebody to get them to attack in. Rocks are going to be flyer only, right? Yeah. Which you can definitely do. Something at melee range. Oops. Ah, okay, so she is silent. She can't use the attacks. How can I tell in the interface? Where does it say that she's silenced? I can't actually see that. That's fine. I'll just send somebody else in. Yeah, because... Oh yeah, she's definitely silenced. I just don't see where that is listed. Because there should be some way to see that that's what's going on, right? Maybe some kind of icon. I just don't see it. So we'll have to be aware of that when we get hit by a silent staff, that the UI might not be most forthcoming about that. Anyway, Seedall can refresh anybody here though, so we can always go in with anybody we like and start hitting. Unfortunately, Ivy is the one who was in the best position to do this. And she could always switch to Corrin, though. I never engage with Corrin, I think, with using her. And if you use Corrin, then you actually get some melee attacks, even though she is not the most useful when it comes to
Emblem
physical attack
engage.
power. But against these defenseless archers, who knows, right? No, that's okay. That's not going to be useful then. Because she has 0... Well, I mean 12 strength, but it's not significant. Alright, in that case... There's somebody I can push upwards into a good position. Yeah, because Chloe would drop a quad on all sides. Otherwise I would double up on her instead and she could come in and start hitting. Let's see. I mean, it's not necessarily urgent to take these out this turn. Because the ballistas have been exhausted already, although the problem... Yeah, no, these guys don't walk, so it's probably going to be fine. And you can just walk in there with one of your other units and start demolishing this. Because nobody's going to attack from this point. Even just run Jean down there. I think that's probably best, in fact. Run Jean down there and he just takes everything out by himself. Then, yeah, Seedall can just go down there and help him finish up. We want to run the Avatar down there to get leveled up a bit. Nah, we'll be fine. Jean... We know we'll definitely kill everything, so we'll get him to wait. We wanted him to get in position again for the chain guard afterwards. Oh yeah, that also reminds me that we don't want to drop Chloe's clones too close here because the ballista should just be able to take them out straight up. So yeah, ballista range is already marked down there though, so I think we're fine. Did we mark this guy yet? Yeah, Chloe can go down here. And we'll switch her over to Manicotti herself in case an melee attacker comes in. Or even just to kill it lands. No, that's okay. Yes, actually, against Axe, we want a sword. Then she calls doubles in here. Great. That'll be fun. And yeah, anybody comes down here can just start wrecking that lower cluster. Do we want it to be Jean? Not necessarily. I mean, we'll also send in anybody in particular who we want to power level down there. And Jean's already kind of way ahead of the pack, so. So Gato, yeah, all these rocks do defend him even against longbows, so. But potentially, we could do a reposition with Louis. And really move somebody up front. But I think we'll want Louis up front until such time as we have to deal with magic attackers, which we won't for a while. No magic attackers in sight until we get over to the cavalry over there, so. We can also do perhaps a warp. That might be fun because then Seal comes here, refresh whoever's here. I mean, it wouldn't be a particularly necessary warp, but you would be able to get everything in really fast and just bust everything down this turn. I'd actually have somebody else use warp staff. You can get off the convoy. Let me think about this. Even Anna be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the speed here? 20, 28. Yeah, no, we'll just stick with the original plan. And just keep this simple. Yeah, let's just type everything we can. the easy way. Maybe get some down here because then we can just eradicate as much as we can. I know, up here, because we don't know who's going to need them. And Flashing Fist we just know is going to inflict tons of damage. 96 damage, in fact. And yeah, those characters that have already used their engaged power are the ones that we want to have go down there because we want them to refresh right away, so... that definitely means Louis and Ike, for instance. They will definitely want to go down there. Then we'll have a back line of magic attackers coming up here because while they're parked behind the clones, they can also do some additional damage. I like that idea. In fact, we can also do a Dragon Vein just to make sure Chloe doesn't get into any particular trouble. And even grab this spot over here, perhaps. Not that we need any of the additional cash flow from the loot anymore. Do some additional pushing as Marin. No, we want Marin up front for the 11 sword, so. But does the shoving matter very much here? Probably not. Just leave her as is. Yeah, Chloe wants to get back there as well once her power expires, but we'll be fine. See what happens. Okay, so that is going to come in and hit. Very nice. That will completely miss, as expected. We'll try to get somebody there to set up the defensive line, because no mages yet, so... Oh, in fact... Yeah, it's almost too bad that Louis all the way down here, because we can get Seedall... Oh, too bad Seedall's also in this position where he can't get pushed back. So if we were able to get across by one additional spot, then we could move Louis back. We can always just warp Louis over here. And then he'd be able to walk back by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then he'd be activated again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we try to get him up to the front line. And because right now we are a little bit exposed. Maybe. I mean, we can also just stand behind here and drop as much magic attack as we can. So, for example, over here, Thoron is going to be okay. It's down by 3 damage, which means we do need adjacency bonus on that if possible. Yeah, not quite enough to do what I want. But we can just pull back and let the clones do their thing and fight on this side of the bridge instead. That might be better because then we have a chance to regroup properly. It's a 3-wide bridge. We don't really have 3 physical defenders, like 2 maybe. But we'll just have to deal with this whole cluster as we go. We want to stay out of range of Ballista anyway, so... Probably we don't want Jean to be hanging down here for too long. We want to maybe get our other characters going instead. Gato. There's a couple of different options. Yeah, that'll just kill. That'll be great. Because these 2 other mages down here are doing nothing, so we don't really care about them. Okay. We'll get somebody else to take care of the bow. And yeah, we'll definitely pull back to this line then, I think. Because then we can have Louis and Ike drop a massive ether next turn, perhaps. In fact, we could even do this. No. Wait. Won't really do enough. Not enough range on them. Let's see here. Marin might be able to do something interesting here with the 11 sword. Yeah, 11 sword will almost kill, but not quite. It's going to be off by 10. It's unfortunate. There's somebody who's actually going to do it. We obviously don't want to attack into this with a flyer, but just for the sake of curiosity. Yeah, we'll probably need 2 attackers to come in here for that. Well, or 1 attacker who will be given a follow-up by Seedal and Sigurd. So yeah, Louis and Ike definitely here. Unless we want to double them up right away this turn, which I think next turn we can probably afford to do it. And we'll just defend from this position down here. Defend from the ballistas, in fact, is a good idea. It might be interesting, in fact, to get Fagato onto a ballista right now. Let's see what that does. Or get Anna onto one. Now, ballista range is going to be... Yeah, no, actually, no, you can't, because this ballista is the only one that's available. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 range, kind of up to this quadrant here. So you can claim the remaining ballista if you take out this guy. So Fagato could actually do that next turn. Yeah, just punch this out immediately. And we need to move a number of different characters in position. Next turn we can use Byleth's power to get a whole bunch of them to do a double move. And yeah, if we defend from this location, we'll have plenty of opportunity to refresh. So let's just pull back. The cavalry incoming as well. Yeah, we'll get Chloe and Lynn to get out of range. Also, because she's kind of in the middle of nowhere, we have a couple of archers that we need to be aware of, though. We probably should start to mark the archers just so we don't deal with bows. And also check the range as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Any longbows? No. But potentially archers can go all the way up to here, which means you've got this as the front line. That's okay, we can probably do it. Let's get in there and see what happens. Back probably Seedal over here. Activate Fagato right away. Fagato can start attacking it. We can see what he does. Or we pull her back. And what is his movement here again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, no, that'll be fine. Yeah, we'll just get Marina to attack twice here. I think that's probably best. And we can always just heal her up. It's not a big deal. Okay. Yeah, because Pandreo can just heal her right away. And then Seedal. And then go Dance. And she can get the kill. And you can come down here because the idea will be to try to get Fagado to fire the Ballista twice next turn if we can, if we have units in position to start absorbing that kind of damage. Having Anna there as well might be good because Anna will do even more damage. Maybe just move her down here and potentially reposition her using various other skills. Yeah, it doesn't matter which weapon we use here as long as we kill on the first hit. Yeah, so we shouldn't have moved Citrin and Ivy up that aggressively this turn. And that's okay. We'll pull them back. And we'll defend down here. And it'll be fun. We get Byleth to do some kind of massive push from here next turn instead. And yeah, their hit rate isn't even that good against doubles, which means that doubles can just hold the position for the time being and do reasonably well against everybody. I guess they don't pick up experience, is the only thing. That still a lot of experience we're leaving on the table. But that is incredibly good. Okay, we have more reinforcements coming. Do we still get experience off of these? I think we do. But it's getting a little bit stronger. But we're at the point where we can not quite attack in yet, but they're holding steady for the time being. And yeah, the archers obviously we want to deal with. The archers we might want to prioritize with Ballista if we can. Notice that Fagado isn't quite within range of a Ballista just yet. We need some kind of additional push. Unfortunately, he's not really in a position to be pushed. Marin, however, can push Anna up by one spot. Anna can then be potentially repositioned by Louis. That's okay. We'll figure this out. Or we could just warp her into that location. Obviously, yeah, nothing from the Ballista. Anna, because of... well, let's take a look at their base attack stats. It's going to be 24 from her. And 19 strength. So we actually do want Anna... that location. We can just warp her directly, or we can be resigned to having one shot from her this turn and 2 shots next turn, which I think is going to be fine. Yeah, because you got 5 movement on her. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be decent. And we can always trade Fagado in if we want. Yeah, look at that. 59% hit is actually not great against this guy. Oh, because he's in the woods. Okay, so we want a magic damage to take that out. Which means Ivy and Corin. Of course, so we can take out all 3 archers now. Then we can just... anybody on 2 range here? Yeah, we have a couple spears to worry about, so we don't want to be too aggressive about this, but we'll need Chloe and Lynn to be back there anyway to eventually refresh on the pod, so probably just going to go like this and hit. We'll try to maximize the hit chance. And yeah, just get her to kill, I think. Unless there's anybody in particular we really want to level up. We can attempt this as Fagato just to see what happens, but I almost think we should leave him in the open. And have Lynn come down. Not... yeah. There we go. Except, of course, that we want her to be within reach of Emblem energy after that turn, so... but we can always just do Javelin from this location, that'll be good. Or one of the bows, for that matter.
One moment, save one for me! I can't retreat now.
Okay, that's fine. Now we get Jean and Erica to probably head back up so we can prepare to play defensively with them. Cedal and Sigurd will then power up Anna. So yeah, Jean and Erica will move up. We'll preemptively switch back to shielding art with them. Now Louis and Ike will want to get up there as well, and they can move Jean up a spot once some of this has been cleared out. We probably don't want everything to be clustered here. We don't want to give ourselves a bit more open space so we can swarm the end of the bridge without obstructing our own movement too much. But I think it should definitely be Anna down here. And she'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 5. Just leave Sigurd kind of in a more open position. Just to eliminate uncertainty about the movement point calculation, let's do this. I don't think anybody's in range yet, right? Let's take a look. Oh. Yeah, so she's going to be here. And then... I should have actually considered using Chloe, because the attack does actually scale with the bow that you have equipped, and Chloe still had the bow on from her engage power, which may have been able to one-shot some of this stuff. But yeah, we want to prioritize archers, so we'll do that. Okay, we'll just do it. Yeah, no, I should have considered that. I was thrown off partly because the movement range doesn't quite overlap with the ballistas, as you can see, because it's not highlighted by the blue square. So, threw me off slightly because not that Legato could have gotten there in the first place with 6 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's out of range, but because he's also got physical attack 32, and potentially if he has Radiant Bow, I wonder if Radiant Bow is usable with the ballista. Because if it's usable on your own weapon anyway, we should have considered that. So let's move Legato here just in case that becomes viable. And yeah, we'll move everybody else out. Keeping in mind that this might potentially open up after one hit, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 range, so yeah, these spots are not necessarily safe either. We need to keep that in mind. Anything can happen. 3, 4, 5, 6. Up to this extent. Okay. That's fine then. We can probably afford to pull some of these guys back then. I don't know if we want the mages up in the open, but we could do it. Keep changing my mind about what I want to do with them, and that's just a way of things. And Louis and Ike will move here and move Jean up one spot, as we said before. And we'll just have tons of magic attackers up here ready to swarm. Let's check this get range again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which means all of these spots will be unsafe. Which means this is Ivy is probably still okay. I want to use her in conjunction with a Dragon Vein somehow. And then, yeah, up here. And here. We'll reposition. And we get ready to receive. Yep, that'll die. A lot of these are still missing, but now at long last they have the breakthrough. We didn't manage to get any kills that time, but we did reduce some of the complexity. It's just wave after wave here. But that's okay, we'll get in there. We have Louis refreshed, which means since there's no magic attack here, we can get up there with Ike's ability and probably just defend, given that not much here will hit that hard. We needed to look for backup attackers, mainly. And let's see if we can do anything with Radiant Bow. Let's test with Anna first and see. Yeah, because Killer Bow is not useful on a Ballista since you don't get the crit of anything. So, worst case scenario, Fagato just fires at the bow again. Best case scenario, Fagato can actually use the Ballista for a magic attack, and that'll be amazing. But because I don't know if it is bow dependent. Yeah, let's do this. Radiant Bow does work, which is great because it means he'll really tear some of these guys apart, except he won't quite get kills, which is unfortunate. But it does mean potentially that we could set up some kind of line here. Particularly if we get the Byleth's power to activate a quad at a time, and you know, if you have Thunder, for instance, over here, and then, or if you buff everybody up with Instruct and then activate Byleth the second time using Seedall, and then you kind of have a second round of that. You know what I mean? Let's see. Because we need some way to push through all three archers and live to tell the tale. I don't know if we'll necessarily be able to do that, but in the worst case, we'll still be able to do a fair bit here. Also, the Twin Strike off Jean's Engage could still be pretty good. Yeah, I think we peel off some of these early units here, and then we try to set up another wall that will have, like, in the middle of it all, completely invulnerable to most of what's going on around him, except, of course, that the defensive stats are rather high, so even having the axe on isn't necessarily going to be that good. However, he can put on the hammer. Won't do much against the cavalry, but it will do quite a bit against the armored units. So we will figure it out bit by bit. But I think the idea is that we actually do want to maybe use Milo's power to take out as many as 8 of these guys. And hopefully have mages in a safe enough position that we can still deal with some of these remaining units after that. Because some of these are going to be relatively slow and not an issue. I don't like this idea. So the question is what the positioning is going to be. Probably this quad here. Because then you can have 3 attack up here, 2 attack up here, 3 attack from this position, and then keep pushing in. Or even just completely swarm him. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just do a massive swarm attack. Yeah, the idea being to take out the bows after that. We'll just see, because the positioning on the ballistas is going to be important. Ballistas are totally out of range. We're fine. Okay, in that case, let's attack. And attack, and attack. And, yeah, unfortunately no vantage on her. And also, that guy's resistance is comparatively decent. Let's check our magic attack here. Yeah, 17 resilience. So we'll need to do something about this guy with the cavalry up top. Whoops, that's where Legato could come in handy. Well, the magic attack is still going to be best, at least with his weapon setup. The other thing you could do is, of course, get in there with Louis and hit after having taken out this guy first. So we just need a huge attack on him first. Yeah, we'll see what the positioning will be like here. Might have to do this quadrant instead. Particularly if we can get some thunder attacks down. Whoops. It's not a thunder attack. Let's do this. And yeah, the hit is pretty good on this stuff. But then the issue mainly is we're not quite close in enough to do much else. So I want somebody here in this spot. Maybe even just Louis. Because then we'll need to reload him anyway, so. To get him to make a second attack after that, or to attack with Ike's power. However, Jean can get in there, Vendrio can get in here, and maybe somebody who's just able to take a hit. Yeah, unfortunately he does. Oh, you know what? You've got advantage on this. This is perfect. Yeah, this will work, actually. This will just straight up work. I should probably have calculated this turn a little bit better before committing to something this risky and aggressive, but who needs to do that? Also, yeah, because you have issues like this where Citrine can't reach the location I want her to get to. That's okay. We'll just use somebody else. Maybe. Yeah, I should have thought about that Citrine can actually run that far. Or we could just, you know, bump her with Marin, and then Marin would still be within the quad to hit after that. Let's maybe get Louis up here to hit with a javelin. And then after that, well, that not only breaks that guy, but then would allow me to push beyond that point. Let's take a look. I think you definitely need to combine that with Legato doing something interesting. Or maybe the Flashing Fist here, but yeah, not great. Not as good as it could be. Okay, we should have maybe done this more carefully. That's okay. 11 sword and dagger. 11 sword would be pretty good against that. Pokemon's not quite fast enough. Yeah, I think we'll need to chip him down, for sure. Okay, going with her over here, not quite. A little bit too risky regardless. Well, we know that you're going to have to reposition him anyway, so let's just spear him. Hopefully it hits with 79%. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know you're going to have to reload him anyway, so... Now this did do enough damage, right? Let's take a look here. Good, 30 points. Yep, that'll do it. In fact, because I do have Seedall available down here, that I can reload Fagato instead of reloading somebody up here. As a Trin, of course, can also move up if need be, but I think it's probably best to keep her in kind of a back position and just defend her afterwards. Maybe. Yeah, and Seedall can always use his engage power to just run up against anything, really. Yeah, I think she'll be in this position just so we can do what we need.
I beg your pardon.
Just push it as hard as we can. Take out the bows afterwards and block off whatever else we can. Oh, it's so close to actually completely wrecking this guy. I'm just a little bit off, unfortunately. Too bad. Because Marin can also do this. And kill immediately, but the problem with that, of course, is that it doesn't quite get me where I want to go. Marin can also push Citrin if I really wanted to, but I don't know if that's the approach we want to take. Seedall also, after reactivating somebody, can still continue to run up 2 spots. And that might be useful here. If, for instance, Seedall runs up to activate Citrin and then run up by 2. That could really blitz everybody down. But without using Fagato twice. Which means we would have a free hand. Here, yeah, no, if Ivy could actually get this kill, that would have been the solution to so many problems, but that will not be the case. What if you go engage? Nope, not quite enough from Corrin either. However, if you go engage with Corrin and try to attack him directly, can we kill the break somehow without taking damage return? Not really. But maybe somebody can chip from down here. Yeah, it actually is a bit conspicuous here that we're not able to get John and Erica in position. What that tells me potentially is that we can do some kind of completely different positioning instead, where we could get Seedall to reload Louis. Well, anyway, let's kill what we can. And we want to reactivate 4, that's the thing. We want to see if there's a way to set up reactivating 4. And there should be. We just need to figure out who it's going to be. I think we just need to come in with Smarin. And if we don't have Ivy be one of the 4, that's okay. She can still be useful up here for some kind of additional attack. Or even some kind of staff usage. So we'll go Levin Sword here. Take this out immediately.
Ooh, I just spotted a rare bug.
Yeah, and somebody else will come in here, probably Seedall in this part of the quad. After reactivating somebody else. Is there somebody I could use to push him forward or warp him forward? Not really. But if he gets in here, rather than reactivating Marin, if we reactivate 4 in this cluster, that might be reasonably interesting. Yeah, because we don't want the mages to be in the front line by the end of this anyway, right? Like, we want Jean and Louis in the front line. Probably with somebody else. How many attackers do we need here? We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units remaining. We basically want to send Louis way up front once we have eradicated at least the bows, or restricted their movement significantly. Staff users also have the benefit of potentially giving me an obstruction to work with. And then Ivy, I mean, I don't know if she's got anybody she can really hit around here, but let me just come in here and test just to see who's vulnerable to her. So now, potentially she'll get rid of the axe. That's assuming we can get rid of all the bows, but then basically we don't need to worry about attacking into the axe man. She's got enough speed that as long as we set up a good defensive line, we shouldn't have to worry too much about the remaining units up front. Also with Thunder, or Thoron, she's able to do a bit there as well. So if we run Seedall and Sigurd up here, reactivate Citrin. And then run here. Well, if we reactivate Seedall anyway, you can run anywhere we like. We don't necessarily need to be restricted to that position. So I wonder if we should just park Ivy right here. She'll get nothing done, but she wasn't going to get the kill anyway. This move. And then run up and activate all 4. Is there a point to doing that when she could just kill directly? I don't know about that. But if Seedall is able to come here and move one of these guys, And then run... Yeah, you see, ideally what I'd have him do is not just counter immediately, because then you could, you know, move a unit out and then occupy the same position. But that will not be possible. But if Seagull comes over here, activates Louis and Ike, perhaps. And then kind of runs up by one position. Ike comes up, continues to push in. Yeah, positionally this is a little tricky to figure out. Yeah, I still am fond of the idea of going here and reactivating. The nice thing about the reactivation is that I believe it does give a buff to everybody as well when you do Goddess Dance, and the benefit of all that, yeah, +3 to all the basic stats. The benefit of all that is that it is still useful to potentially put Ivy in here. The question is mainly, do we want to put Ivy there or Citrin? And I'd say Ivy because Citrin, we do not want to expose her too much to the front lines since she has such low defense. So I think we'll just try to do this simple way. Reload everybody here. We walk in, and then see it all. And no, the problem with that is that Seattle will only be able to reactivate one attacker. But then again, he can go as far as he wants with the counter, so it doesn't matter, really. He can activate anybody. So, okay, we'll do it this way. We'll just do it the original way that we had in mind. Where is there a staff that is useful with Ivy? We can even put the Dragon Vein down as Ivy so we have a personal heal zone here in advance. And that might be helpful. Yeah, I like that, in fact. Let's just, first of all, switch items. Drop Dragon Vein here. So we have our own heal zone set up and ready to go. Then we go over here and reactivate all 4. Let me make sure I have, yeah, kind of item I want. We'll engage.
Emblem, engage!
Then, whoops. Oh yeah, we could just use the shortcut as well. Just realized I could just use the plus button to do a quick engage even on the map screen. We've played this game for so much, and I've actually not used that interface element outside of the attack preview screen. When you've already picked up a weapon. Well, now we know. Anyway, Goddess Dance would load everybody up. Let's just make sure we know what item I want in return. Yeah, we'll stay on what we have here. Just to maximize avoidance, probably. Okay, Goddess Dance on all 4. And Seedall's still available to get somebody else to move. So between that, we should have at minimum 5 more attacks, or 4 more attacks plus. Oh, Louis lost item and returned it. What is that? What even is that? Lost item. Lost item. Wouldn't be to Ragnall? No. Oh no, because he just hit Bond 15 with Ragnall. Okay. What even is that? Huh. When do they have a lost item? How did that happen? Or... okay, anyway, not going to worry too much about it. Alright, so we want to clear some space and we want to have Louis dive into the middle there if we can. And Seedall can kind of go in and continue from that point. Jean and Erica can also go in there with some defense if necessary. But the idea will be that we try to push in with as many magical attacks as possible. Seven Sword Magic Dagger won't be too good against that, but then we can just continue pushing in. Just kill everybody we can. Archers for sure. We want reasonable defense up front. Okay, Pandreo can't really go beyond that point, so we'll maybe go like this. That would kill one bow for sure, but might not be the most effective use of them. I can also just Great Lance anybody in the face. If we have some way to one-shot this guy, that would be great, but I don't know if we will. Let's see here. Poking out against this guy. It's gonna lock him down somehow. Maybe just attacking from this position will be best. Oh, you know what? There's Peshkats, which does have the benefit of the crit chance on the second attack. That's 100% turning attack, though, that we need to deal with. But if we can get a crit down on at least one of these hits, which with a 50% chance we may be able to, then that could do it. Particularly, yeah, I'm not fond of this attack and return that's going to hit her. That's one way to potentially do it. Because it looks like we need two attackers in this guy, which is very unfortunate. Unless we can take advantage of the adjacency buff somehow. 1919, at best you'd add 6 points to that. And the speed is actually one of the issues here, that you can't quite outspeed him. Yeah, maybe if you break him with something. You need to break him with a lance. And that might be the best way to do this, in fact, is just to go Great Lance. Actually, all of the paladins here have the same problem, unless... Let's see. Seven Sword and Dagger, not quite there yet. Some of these attacks are just too slow. Almost does it. What about with the Surge? Not quite. That's okay. I mean, one of the benefits of doing things this way is that you can always kind of back out. The other thing we can do is use Seedle to get Jean up in action out there, which might wind up being the best course of action, because then you could potentially block all three spaces, especially if you have an obstruct staff ready somewhere. We need to grab it from the envoy, maybe. Or, if, oh, rather from Seedle. He's got the other obstruct, I think? Or not. No, he's got fracture. Let me think about this. He's stuck in this bridge for a while. Yeah, because basically we want to set up a defensive line that will withstand a fair bit of physical punishment. And you can use Jean to do that, or basically who should we prioritize? We need to block off the woods a little bit, perhaps. Also get the flyers out of the way. And totally lock them down. Let's see. Also, I should take advantage of the fact that Ivy has the ability to lock down somebody's movement. So if she does a melee attack into one of the bows, the bow would be unable to hit her in return, assuming that she engages into the attack first. So let's say she goes engage. Whoops, no.
Grant me strength.
Because the aura would actually be able to lock down an entire cluster from moving, which would actually prevent the bows from doing much, because in fact, if she attacks into this, this is the best way to do it. If she attacks into this guy, while staying out of bow range, she locks down all the bows with Dreadful Aura. Target foe and all foes within one space of it. So everybody would be down, right? In fact, if you do that, you can get up here to avoid any issues with additional attackers coming in and trying to bop her. And because nobody would be within range. Are there spears here? No, no spears. One spear. Okay, one spear. Well, if she can withstand an attack from a spear, then she's fine. Defense 21. And pretty low speed on that guy. Yeah, she'll be fine, actually. So if you go over here, and then go engage, and hit that, and then the whole cluster goes down, pretty much. We should have just done that in the first place. I did check my ballista range, right? Yeah, I did. So everybody goes down, and suddenly you have no issues whatsoever with the bows. And you can just burn everybody else down along the way. So, among other things, we can just get into position to hit this guy with whatever we've got. And we can just sit here. Well, as long as we have somebody who can withstand the spear attack, that's the main thing. And then we can even just park Louis in this central location here. And then wreck everybody using Ike's power. Also notice that he's able to just push someone out of the way. Using the Great Lance, which will be an asset here, because I can always just reload him with See It All plus Sigurd. So you can push one guy out of the way. The problem with that is... No, that's the guy on sword, that's fine. And then we can kill him with something else next turn. And he can't move, so he would be caught within range of whatever it is I'm doing with Ike afterwards. Just put Ike over here, and he's going to be good. Let's, so we don't need to worry about the guys who are frozen, because they'll be frozen as long as they aren't within range of somebody I actually care about, so... Which means we'll do this. Great Lance up against this guy. Good. And then now, Ike will ultimately wind up over here or here to basically do a mass attack against everybody who's still remaining alive at that point. Ideally, we want to do something about the spear guy, because he's still able to come in here and do some damage. basically, in most cases here, we'll be fine. So, for example, we take Meriden here. Got the 11 sword, we got the Pesh Cats, which might actually get a kill here, given that. And then with Ike, we can just kind of stand in front of that and even block the position a bit. I mean, indeed, if we kill this guy, we could even run Seedall all the way up. And get Ivy to freeze the spear as well. Possibly even kill the spear. He's got res 9. He's got attack 45. It's going to be 36, 36. Yeah, she could actually just kill it. As long as she stands in the right position. So, except we still want Louie and Ike to be up here. Well, anyway, let's see what we're going to do with these then. Mainly I'm interested in whether you can survive attacks from these guys down here. Because cavalry is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, eventually hitting these. He won't go through here, but this one will potentially hit at quite a range. For 41, but everybody should be able to survive that. As long as you don't get hit by something else, right? So, given that, should be able to just peel off a whole bunch of these. Yeah, because as long as this guy doesn't attack in, then he's fine. Which means that if you take Pendreo and Marin in, defense 17, defense 19, defense 15. Let's try it with the Pesh Cats first, just to see what happens. Because for all we know, we might even just kill with poison as well.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah, here's a crit.
You were a worthy opponent.
And Pendreo can come in here. Seedall could even refresh Pendreo in this position and get him up even further, but no. That won't work. Or you could get Jean to move up and complete the defensive line. The main issue is in Marin's position right now. You potentially have 2 attackers coming in. That's not an issue if you activate.
Emblem, engage!
Get over here, activate him, and then pull back. Yeah, we know we're going to activate him, so that's not in question. The question is what to do with Pendreo afterwards. Probably just snipe a kill off somebody else. Yeah, because if we kind of move him into a front position, and Pendreo has how many movement? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't quite go far enough to hit this, which is too bad. Right, because this guy, we have to remember, can always kind of pass through here and potentially causes some issues. We don't block that. So, can Marin sustain 2 attacks? That's a good question. 41 and 31. 41 and 31. I think she should be able to. This 41 is going to do 22. 31 is going to do 12. Yeah, she'll actually be able to survive 2 attacks. So 3 attacks, no. So if she kills one of the incoming attackers, that's going to be a problem. But you reactivate her now and go 11 sword against this guy. 11 sword is going to do how much? 34 over 9. Doesn't quite do enough. Now we should have actually put Ivy in a position that would make her easy to reactivate. There is a way to do that, in fact, which is to kill this guy first. So that's the solution we're going for, is we're going to kill this. And then we need to watch out for Axe Guy here. But Axe Guy doesn't have a lot of movement to work with. Because he's stuck behind trees, he's stuck behind allies, he can't really do much. Which means that we go Pendreo over here and just tap this guy quickly.
May their souls find peace.
We could just block things off completely. It's 41 an attack against Seedall, doesn't do much either, so Seedall could basically reactivate Ivy, pull back to this location, so we complete the wall off. Pretty much. He'd still be hit by the spear, potentially. But then Ivy can come in and kill one more. So we don't need to worry about Ike's power this turn. We can save it. Which will be good. Oops. Yeah, let's engage. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, he doesn't go far enough to reach. Okay, that doesn't work then. Never mind. Never mind. He can't run far enough. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's okay, because this guy's still out of range of anything useful. If I send Louis up here. Yeah. No, he'll be fine. So we pull Louis up here, and then this guy goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he potentially hits Seedall, but I am not worried about it. Let's just go dance here. Yeah, even with his massive movement range, I couldn't quite get up to the position I was looking for. We'll pull him back. We can always put Jean in front of him, in fact, which also works. Because Jean... the shielding art is going to do just fine. Defense 28. He can stand here. He'll be able to tank whatever the Axe Guy comes and throws at us. If the Axe Guy can actually get that far in the first place, which he might not be able to. We could even take him out completely with the Great Lance if we want. But it might be better to go for Ike's power. Let's try it.
Emblem, engage.
Just to test the range. Because we have Ether. Then Ether, as you can see, actually takes out pretty much the whole cluster in one go. Ragnall would do pretty well as well. But I already have enough defense to work with here. So we'll just try to maximize power. Yeah, Hammer would actually be best because it takes out the armor on top of everything else. It takes out everything except maybe 2 points on the Archer, which is going to be fine. So we'll do this. Obviously, some of these units might walk out of position, but like if they just try to run in front of me for some reason. But we'll do it this way. Hammer. Yeah, this guy won't hit anything. This guy might try to run out. That's okay, because I'd still be able to hit a bunch of stuff. So maybe we should tank Wujan just to defend Seedall here. Or even just Chain Guard behind him. Chain Guard behind him is better. Because then he'll just be able to take a hit. And then Chloe and Lynn, we need to refresh their power, so we'll do that. We'll do it down here. Okay, that was a long turn, but I think we found a good way to do it. And unfortunately, we did lose a bit of loot. But the linchpin of this turn here was the movement freeze from Corrin's power, which, if anything, I've been kind of underusing. And Marin's just going to straight up destroy that. Chain Guard's going to do its job. And yeah, as expected, it was kind of the least useful case for Geezer, which is only hitting 3 enemies, but, you know, that's still decent. It still created a gigantic threat, which is what I actually wanted to do with it. And it gets Ike into Louis and Ike into a front position that allows him to run up and just take the next round of hits as well. So, let's see what we want to do now. Well, I mean, we can destroy everybody back here, first of all. That is the most important thing. Radiant Bow will destroy this immediately, and so that's probably best, given that Fagano won't be doing anything else with his ballista at this point. Okay, that works. Then Anna and Lucino, we'll just move them up. And yeah, we still have tons of movement on Seedall for every turn after this, so we could even get within range of doing something up here and just have Louis and Ike attack into everything here and survive it. As long as we don't have any mages respawning there at the last minute. So, anybody here particularly disadvantaged? Not really. We'll just use who we can. Yeah, that'll hit 100%, so we won't die to this. That's kind of important.
I claim this victory.
Then, yeah, Ivy can take this one out from a fair distance. Because the idea is that I actually do want her to get in on the next round of attacks as quickly as possible. Not within ballista range, of course. The idea being that I want her to use the movement freeze again while Corrin is still active. I might also want to have her take the fort. We'll need somebody to take the fort just to block off potential reinforcements. So yeah, Marin can get in here. Ivy... Main issue with her right now is that the ballistas are covering so much range. She can't really get in close enough to do anything yet until at least one of the ballistae have gone down. So you've got these guys coming in here. Yeah, you can probably bait them out at least. So Louis and Ike are not getting that far yet, but they could basically get in position to push really quite hard up here, and got defense 21 on this guy. Yeah, as long as... what is it? Seedall is defended. It's got 6 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll find some kind of position that prevents him from... If we get Ike right in front of him, right in front of his face, then he's forced to go up here through the woods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll still basically have the same range, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. But that's still potentially fine. I see it all up here. Refresh Ike. Ike goes in. And yeah, okay, so that's kind of within the attack range as well. What's this spot here? Why is it marked? Oh, within range of that ballista, okay. Yeah, we need to do something about that. Well, anyway, let's get Ivy down here then, perhaps. And just take that out quickly.
Guess I did it right.
Then, once you get down here, you can just have Louis block that position right away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he'll block. That might be the best way to do it, at least for now. And then Seedall can kind of tail him into next turn. After that, even though he's got significantly greater movement to work with at this point. Potentially, in fact, Seedall could get Ivy to rush the bow after that, or even get Louis to rush the bow. That might be useful. Yeah, we'll get Marin up here. Nobody in that position for the time being, so we'll try to move everybody up. Possibly heal her up first, in fact. Which we can do with Jean, because Jean hasn't done... no, he's not within range because of where Citrine is standing. So, probably... 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Seedall can stand here safely. I can stand here. And... yeah, that's fine. Doesn't really make full use of his extra movement range right now, but that's okay. Will in fact benefit from... we'll pull him back one spot, perhaps. Just in case this... no, this should work out. We would in fact benefit from pushing this guy back a spot with a Great Lance, because he would be pushed back here. And he'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Regardless, we'll leave Seedall here then. Then I should be able to just attack in with Great Lance, and everything will be alright. Unless we can outright kill him, which we will not be able to do. Yeah, but then we have pretty high defense there, and everybody here is at melee range, so we'll be doing okay because Louis and I can just take care of all that by themselves. I should have, in fact, given everybody a stat buff with Instruct prior to doing this, but now we've learned that. Okay, that's fine. Just wait here. Chloe and Lynn, I don't know if there's Anything we can do with her ahead of time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, not really within range just yet. Okay, we'll move her up here. And then Pentreo will get a bit of a cheap heal. You never know when that might be useful. Buff everybody up. And we'll put her up over here. Yeah, we will eventually want some high defense to stand within range of the other ballista as well, which is to start absorbing things. But for the time being, I think it's best if I put her here. In fact, putting somebody strong onto fort is likely to be a good idea, because then that will just absorb a few hits by itself. We'll put her here just to potentially be useful as an attacker. And yeah, he'll take out a couple by himself. And that'll simplify things pretty thoroughly on this side. Still thinking about that one pure water enemy that managed to get away because I didn't realize I was supposed to loot him that quickly. But yeah, I mean, that's this cluster pretty much taken care of. We just need to not get hit by the ballista. So, speaking of not getting hit by the ballista, I wonder...
Emblem, engage!
We're just testing this. We won't actually do it. Yeah, it doesn't quite do it. But if we use Instruct against her, and then double ARP with Seedall again, maybe she's able to do it. And not even necessarily against this bow, but perhaps against a different one. Although that bow, of course, would simplify things when it comes to my movement coming up here. So for example, if I take her up here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, she's nowhere within range of this guy, but she could potentially take out that bow quickly. I feel like we want to save that kind of maneuver for when I really need it, though. Blue Blur, welcome. Yeah, I feel like I want to save that because, you know, it's going to lock her out of Astra for a couple of turns, and then I need to reload it up here to start attacking it again. But, and I am kind of taking advantage of the Instruct buff as well in order to get that done. So anyway, Ivy obviously can't get within the ballista range. We can see about this because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potentially. He's got 5 movement here. You go Javelin over here. Won't quite kill, but combined with Astra it would. He just needs to set somebody within Javelin range over here. So can we actually kill all of these? Especially given Seedall reloading. Like, yeah, if we can just get rid of these two guys, then we're pretty solid. In fact, if we have Ivy in this position, the problem with that, of course, is the other ballista up here. Let's see the marker on that. Okay, no, if you can get down here in our present position, then potentially a thunder attack would do it. She'll be just a little bit short, unfortunately. But with the Instruct buff, that'll be +3 to her stats, which still isn't quite enough. But the thing I'm thinking about here is to go like this. That if you get her close enough to do the torrential roar attack, How much damage does that even do? Let's see. Not much. It's only 11 damage. The Dragon Fang. But if you can just hit this guy, perhaps. You see it all up here, pull him back. And you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, doesn't quite work, but you do need to still take this one out. Okay, but then Great Lance would knock this guy off the ballista, and I don't know if he'd be able to walk after that, given that they don't walk. So for example, if you do Astra against this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like from this position, and yeah, that does kill. And you might be able to take out all of this stuff at once. And this is also in a safe position, so you don't need to worry about the bow. You just be going in there and taking it out right away. I like this. It looks like a very clear play, in fact.
A good win.
A very good win. Because we know Louis can take this out immediately. I'm a little concerned about this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But basically, if Seedall reloads Louis up here and pulls back to this position, I think that's out of range of the other ballista. Yeah, so we need to nuke this guy first, so Seedall has an escape square. A way to do that will be to use... wait, let's check the range here again. So yeah, this guy's active. Yeah, the way to do that is to use Marin. So let's ride on the assumption that we actually are going to kill the other bow. Or are we? Yes, because Great Lance is going to knock him off the ballista. And the question is, if we knock him off the ballista, does he ever move back onto the ballista? Because that could potentially be a problem. Especially if we have somebody like Ivy in range, which is why we'll use Marin instead, and we'll use her from a safe square. And we'll go... Weapon Sword. We'll see if this works. Okay, now we go like this. Yeah, Great Lance will just kill him.
I can take on anyone.
Now, destroy the bridge.
Destroyed a bridge. Wait a minute. I'm on the bridge. Hey, that's not fair. Look at that. Okay, I didn't think that was going to happen. Because now I've got a unit who's just stuck. Oh no, it's a shoal. She can still walk across. It's just she has to walk across slowly. Alright, let's get everyone across the bridge before everything blows up. Because I assume that these two bridges are also going to be vulnerable very soon. Interesting. That was the event trigger for that. Anyway, let's dance. And then we'll pull them out of the bridge. Actually, let's take a look here. Assuming that the bridges go down, we'll probably want everybody to be funneled up here so we can take out the fort. But then, of course, we'll need to deal with that ballista up there, so that's okay. It just means that Louis might be a little isolated here, which would be a problem if the magic attackers start coming in. But then that's what the rescue staff is here to solve, so I think we can do it. And we'll pull out that. And Great Lance will almost kill, but not quite. Should have used Instruct. Where's my Instruct? Too far out. That's okay. We'll push him. And we'll see if the bow actually gets back on the ballista after doing this. If it does, then somebody's going to take a pretty big hit. And it doesn't. It just stays locked in position, which is fantastic. Anyway, we'd better get our other guys out of here. They're going to be completely out of action for quite some time. Rescue staff could always get them across, of course, but rescue staves are rare enough and valuable enough that I don't want to use them unless it's absolutely necessary, so... we'll just try to get everybody across the bridge first. Especially because we might have to rescue her twice to get her across accurately, so... we'll get Anna and Lucina up here. We'll then... yeah, Ivy and Corin will probably need a refresh soon enough. As will Violet. Yeah, let's just get everybody over. And she flies, so we don't need to worry about her. It's the only way to fly. Let's think about our positioning here. Might as well grab some of this stuff on the way. Got Pantareo over here. Somebody will need to take the fort. It's going to be Jean when we have a chance. And yeah, actually, if I get... well, I mean, this ballista will not be a problem, so I think we'll just get everybody moving up here. We cannot have her stand there, obviously. Because of the bow. Somebody else will stand there in a bit. Dragon Vein, do we have any healing up to do? I mean, we have single points here and there. We might as well do it. Just drop this instead. It should be within range to hit up the recharge square next turn. Okay, how bad is the situation here? Not bad. As long as we don't have a one bridge blow up every turn, which can always happen, and that could also happen. But that's okay, because... oh, here they come. Here goes. And yeah, Leaf's gonna join them. Now, that's fine. As long as we have a plan to potentially rescue Louis out of there. He can in fact absorb ballista hits all day, and
I'm still quite capable.
Totally solid. In fact, it's all going to be melee attackers here, so I actually am going to just stand him over here and take hits, or hit this with a spear and also take hits, just to absorb everything we can. That's probably the best solution, in fact, just to stand here and spear. Ragnall also has 2 range, which I don't think I realized. And Louis can't be broken by weapon advantage, so I think this is actually best. Because he'll have defense 5 and he'll be able to slap everything that comes at him. Okay, Ragnall it is. And it'll just be for this turn, but it'll be enough to take out everything that's coming at him. And we don't want him to fight the mages up there anyway, so it's perfectly fine to keep him down here and absorb a couple shots. Anyway, Jean has to stand here for sure. It's going to be avoidance 30 on that square, and he'll be able to take quite a few hits. This might still be pretty concerning, but that's okay. If we have... we still have Seedall and Sigurd available here, even though their power is gone. That would allow me to chain guard against one shot, which will be useful, especially if we drop a Dragon Vein behind that. So that's going to be the order of events. we wait. Yeah. And then we actually, for probably the first time, use Seed Hall to do something other than dance. Run him upstairs. Chain guard in this position. And use adjacency here for some additional defense. And also drop a Dragon Vein here. And also give him Instruct. Just for good measure. We'll have a nice, tight defensive cluster. Yeah. Because we can fly over here. Yep, that's going to be okay. Yeah, Chain Guard will solve it completely. Actually, it doesn't really matter if Seal catches a hit. We do want our other units to crawl across here slowly, though. Because then get him up here with Chain Guard. We can then move Ivy back here and go Dragon Vein. Oh! Okay, no, I can't create a Dragon Vein in a flyers only location, I guess. Because it won't land. That's fine. We'll just do it this way. As before. I think keeping everybody back here in this position is probably just fine. One thing we'll want to do is we'll want to drop Chloe's doubles at some point. I don't know if we want to do it this turn, but everybody is going to run in here, and having the chain attacks could be useful. Especially because everybody's at range, so they will not be taken out by the Manicotti. I think dropping doubles back here is probably the best, unless there's a better location for that. Let's see, maybe we come up here and then drop the doubles up ahead to basically create distractions. And have somebody attack behind that. Otherwise, yeah, you'll have doubles here that would participate in the chain attacks, but not do anything really beyond that, which might not be as useful. Let's just run her up here. And wait. Okay, who's left? Pendreo. We'll keep him in position. Pendreo and Citrine. Yeah, we'll just keep him here. Might want to pull them back, but we'll see what the next turn looks like. Yeah, these three should all be able to attack in and die immediately. And none of them will stand on the thicket, so we'll see how it works and where the enemy goes. Okay, not quite a kill, but could be worse. We also technically have some ballista shots remaining down there, we just don't have a unit to use them with. Okay, he'll just take out wave after wave down here by himself. Which is fine, because the thing about Louis and Ike is that you can always stand on the Emblem energy for more. And he can just take these guys out all day long, which is very fancy. As long as you don't let anybody with a bow step on a ballista, it should remain fine. Okay, this stuff though. Yeah, we got Leaf back here. Wow, this is going to hit hard. How hard? Let's see. Nice thing about magic attack is that if I switch to Flashing Fist, yeah, you take a little more damage, but for the most part, shielding art is going to be very good. And in fact, if I use Instruct, do I still have Instruct available? I do not. I should in fact be able to take out a lot of this stuff myself. Main issue here is the Light Brand. Actually, none of this is going to be too much of a threat. As long as I remain into shielding stance at the end of the round. In fact, I should just hold the fort, I think. But then we need to start looking at our magic resistance here, because, yeah, basically, we'll get absolutely mobbed by some of this stuff. Unless we can do something to snipe Leaf nice and early, but it does mean that we will not even get close to taking out the extra money out here. Yeah, because Leaf can hit a lot of stuff, basically. I don't know how much we can realistically reduce that by this turn anyway, but one of the issues, of course, is that now I can't quite step on this spot to reload Byleth. Cedal, however, is standing here, and if I step on this, if it refreshes immediately, then I can use Cedal to... Like, I don't know if it refreshes immediately or at the end of the turn. That's the thing. Because if it does refresh immediately, then Cedal can reactivate my avatar, and then we can have a big attack coming in that takes out everybody quickly. Takes out at least all 6 of the Mage Knights, because we know that someone like Jean can definitely do it with the Flashing Fists. Yeah, because we'd be able to reload him, and he would get 2 attacks off of him and multiple attacks off other characters as well. Chloe and Lynn would be able to, for example, probably... Oh, you know what? She can still call doubles. That's important. And that's also important because we're still within ballista range down here, which is not healthy. Because I feel like I can't actually fight there until we have addressed that. At least not with what I'm sitting on at the moment. We might just pull everybody back a little bit and lure everybody in here first. Let the mages run ahead of Leaf because his movement's going to lag behind by about 1 space. And it'll be a little bit scary, but I think Jean should be able to take it. So the extent of the attacker here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a pretty large range, actually. And speed-wise, they're not too bad, at least. So we basically have 2 options. Just try to attack in now and take out everybody I could, and I can probably get rid of a good chunk of it. The problem is that we're within range of at least smacking me in return. And moreover, the ballista being an issue. Also, this guy coming in here. We need to watch out for this guy because he is within range of hitting Louis. And that will be a problem. Yeah, because Louis would basically need to come down here and fight down here instead. To avoid being hit too hard. Yeah, and of course half my party's back here too. It's unfortunate. Not half my party, 2 units, but you know what I mean. Yeah, some of these guys you can start to chip them down a little bit, but... So for example, if you took Marin up here, she's able to do pretty well with Silver Dagger, not as much as I'd like. Also, Thoron has 3 range, you have to be careful with that, because the Thoron mages will have quite a reach. They'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to reach all the way up to this quadrant. Which kind of encourages me to go back to the bridge, but we all know that the bridges could potentially blow up at this point, so that's potentially not a great idea. I like the idea of just attacking in. Let me think about that. Or dropping doubles. We can drop doubles. As long as we don't have everybody gang up on her afterwards. It would make sense, in fact, for Chloe and Lynn to try to take somebody out. You know what? She can take out 2. And Jean can take out 2. The main issue being Ballista. This one you can kind of see. This one... Yeah, she would need to come in and take this out second, probably. Alright, let's try this idea. This is risky, but... You would stand here. You could even do Instruct to give Chloe a bit of an additional boost. Seedle would come here. Reactivate. Go back over here. Probably reactivate in something like this spot. Yeah, because you'd want like Chloe hitting here, Chloe moving back and hitting the other guy to get out of range. Okay. I think this is doable. I think this is doable. As long as we can deal with Leaf, who's going to get some kind of huge hit. But most of this is defensive for him. Apart from that plus 10 crit, that's maybe a bit of an issue. And the fact that he would work as a backup, and the fact that he would have the quadruple hit, which, if he attacks with a bow, he can kill a flyer, which is not good. But you would basically need to get out of his range then, which means that you can't really have Chloe do 2 attacks unless you... Yeah, she could do 1 attack and then she can drop obstructions afterwards. I feel like dropping the obstructions is going to be key here. It's going to be an essential part of this move. Or you could... Do we have somebody on Obstruct who can just block him? We have Jean with the Obstruct staff, but we can trade it off to somebody. We also have Seedall with the Obstruct staff and can trade it off to somebody. Because, for example, if you just grab the Obstruct staff, here's Ivy, then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or if you have a freeze staff, although I don't know if Leaf can, in fact, be frozen with any kind of decent probability. Basically, I want to trap him in place and just separate him while we kill everything else. One way to do that, of course, is to once again freeze everybody with Corrin's ability, which would require me to, instead of using Byleth, use Ivy and Corrin over here. You see it all to reload her. Ivy and Corrin come back. a hit. And then let me see how badly she takes damage from any of this stuff. Not too bad because she has pretty decent magic resistance herself. So basically we managed to take out a whole cluster with a single Korin attack. If we manage to freeze an entire cluster of movement, this would also block locations from being accessible for Leaf. And if you manage to do it in a position that kind of blocks him, well, the only two range attack. Well, he's got two range attacks. He's got Master Lance, which is 35 and attacks twice. 35 attacking into this, attacking twice will be 17 and 17. Yeah, she should survive, but it wouldn't be very comfortable. Now she could, however, always do an attack at 3 range. Which she would have to anyway because of the ballista, once again. So she does an attack at 3 range, say, into this cluster. 2, 3. Wouldn't be very comfortable, but it would freeze most of the attackers out. Now, the problem is that that's still not a safe position. The best you can do potentially is freeze some of them. And then we'd have to get in there and kill the rest. I don't know if I like that. We should maybe revert to our original plan. Let's think about how the position is going to work then, because you can go Flashing Physician and then switch to shielding after having reloaded him. The nice thing about switching to shielding is that, let's say we shielding with the stat boost from the Goddess Dance, we'll be able to continue and hit some more and actually kill some of these in one shot. Also, if you have any trouble at any given point, you can just use the rescue staff to pull the unit out, which is maybe what we'll do once we reload Chloe and maybe drop some instructions. Okay, let's actually do it then. This all depends on one critical move, which is, does the Emblem energy refresh immediately? If it doesn't, then this move will not work. It has to work. And so I'm going to come over here, then I'm going to... I can't use Instruct anyway, not yet. So we'd have to wait. It does refresh immediately, great. Which means we then use Seedal and Sigurd up here to dance. And then we need to figure out where to pull Seedal out. So we don't do this yet until we know what Seedal's position is going to be. Now once again, let's... Unfortunately I can't see a thing with the way we've tagged the attacks here because everything is just covered by the ballista. Who do we tag here that we... Oh yeah, we'll just untag Leaf for a moment, so we can actually see the ballista range. So... Oh, we can hit one. Jean can hit one. Or Chloe can hit one here, and Jean can hit one here. No, because... Yeah, Chloe can come over here, hit from 2 range. Jean can come here to hit this guy. That takes out 2 of the Thorons, which is decent, except of course we have some high speed characters after that that we need to take care of. Speed is not going to be an issue, thankfully. Okay, I think that has to be it. And then Chloe would have to pull back probably and potentially even be rescued out of here. So basically we take out the Thoron.
I can't retreat now.
And then we'll see how badly I miscalculated. You know, we could even have used the engage to just break this completely with shielding art, but no, we're going to use flashing fist instead. And the first attack will break, which means that I will not have to worry about being hit. Let's see. Okay, great. Seedall will definitely come here and refresh, so that is accounted for already. And so the positions that I can choose from are pretty limited. I'll need 2 additional characters here. One of them will probably be Seedall, like he taps and then moves over by 1. So it means we'll have 1 character over here. What's Ivy's weight? It is 10. Which means Marin can push her by 1 spot. And then she can go up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And she can also reload. And then once Seedall is reloaded, you can reload Ivy, and then Ivy can then freeze a lot of the remaining characters. Although, again, the issue is that it gets her into ballista trouble. But you could freeze a bunch of the attackers at once. So basically Marin would get a push, and then you use Pandreo up here instead. So it's going to be Pandreo, Seedall, and then Marin pushes Ivy. Ivy goes up to reload Emblem Energy. And then you would basically have 4 attackers available plus Ivy to do a freeze if necessary. No, 3 attackers available, 3 attackers available, plus Ivy on the freeze. And then the main issue after that is a ballista over here, because it means that you can't really realistically get in that far with Chloe, for instance. Because she would have to probably pull back and drop doubles. I don't think she can actually attack. And yeah, the main issue is, do we die to Leaf at the end of that turn? And this will be complicated to map out. But you should be able to shove from that point. And Citrin can always pull her out and rescue, once again. And so we should consider that possibility that the rescue staff is available within 5 range. 5 range? Let's check. 8 range, in fact, 8 range. Great. Because it means that if we have one of the flyers dive right in there and hit a whole cluster, we can in fact pull her back out to safety. Which we might have to do. So let's once again see it all over here and pull back. Okay. So it's going to be dance. Pull back to this location. And we have one additional attacker come up here. The only one available is going to be Pandreo. So can Pandreo do anything useful this turn? Not really. We'll just leave him there, probably. Marin will need to push, for sure. Yeah, it'll be like this. This is going to be extremely fancy and also too difficult to calculate perfectly. So it's quite possible that I'll have some kind of fatal mistake in here that I'm not seeing yet. Ivy comes up here. Might even Oh, you know what? She could even preemptively drop a Thoron, although she can do that, or she can do a Dragon Vein, which I don't know what will be more useful. Dragon Vein. Why can't she create a Dragon Vein? Because I actually wonder. I don't know why she can't. Is it because she's standing on an Emblem energy square? It might be. Let me just check. It is. It can't overlap with Emblem energy, so she can't do that anyway. So the most useful thing she can do here is actually attack. And then just chip that down ahead of time, which might be useful depending on who we reload at that point. And again, one of our flyers would be allowed to get into ballista range after that. So she's going to reload. Then we reload everybody in the middle. And we'll keep Citrine on reserve in case we need to pull somebody out.
Lend me your strength.
Complicated map, but we're going to do it.
Let the lesson begin.
In fact, if Ivy can drop a Thoron on Leaf and freeze him instead, it doesn't freeze anybody else because he's not adjacent to anyone. But that solves a lot of problems, potentially, to just freeze him out for one turn. The question is whether we can just get rid of most of this other stuff while we are getting that figured out. Because I'm kind of wondering, okay, so we can freeze a whole cluster with her. Who do we freeze? We can freeze up to 4 units. We can also just freeze 1 unit. And depending on who is being threatened and who we can get rid of along the way, maybe it's better to just freeze 1 unit. Let me take a look at... Oops. Oh yeah, no, Seedall has to reload her first of all and then pull back. And probably pull way back, like here. And then... yeah, we can only use 1 flyer deep in without running into issues here with Ballista and Ballista. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. Yeah, this is actually the only place I'm allowed to stand with Ballista, which is not good. Means I could potentially kill 1 unit, but also freeze some here. Or come over here and drop doubles. If I'm dropping doubles here, that means I can't put Seedall here. I need to put him here. Let's see here. Or even... yeah, because of flyers only, I can't pull him back this way. So we pull him back 1 spot here, potentially, and I just... or pull him down 1 spot as well, which might be possible. Oh, no. No, because best case, you'd want Chloe to stand to the left, perhaps. Also, let's just see how she does against Leaf. She doesn't do anything, actually. She's not going to be too useful against him. However, his hit chance is pretty low, at least. So you can at least put him in a situation where he doesn't have a lot of hit to work with. He's got 2 more turns on her current ability as well, so... you want to use her for some kind of anti-magic purpose. Yeah, if you freeze this whole cluster, the Thoron is still potentially an issue, but... then... run up. Probably kill this guy with something. Yeah, I can probably kill him with Pendrell. That might be the best way to do it. As long as we stand out of the way of somebody. incoming nonsense that we'll be dealing with pretty quickly. So yeah, the question is, where do we pull him? We pull him here, I think, just to leave options open for whatever it is we're doing. Okay, pull him back here. Ivy, if she's here, can we rescue her? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ugh. Not really, because it puts Citrine in a position where she's potentially going to be hit very hard by the ballista. Which, again, we should expect it to do potentially up to 54, which would kill her. So, how far is Citrine allowed to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is fine, because Ivy, if she goes Thoron against this guy, freezes the whole quadrant. And then, yeah, it should take some damage in there, but potentially also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ivy can also go here and freeze. Yeah, okay, this is a problem actually. That 52% hit rate is bad. Because does she need to hit in order to activate his ability, or does she just need to initiate combat? She only needs to initiate combat. So if we want to freeze Leaf this turn, we don't actually need to deal damage, which is really important, because it would also take his stats down. So the thing is, do we freeze 4 or do we freeze 1? The problem is that Leaf is potentially a big problem if he attacks into me. And I don't quite know how big a problem, because this is actually kind of difficult to calculate, but he's got enough speed on these weapons. He's got a double and a Master Lance to crit on a Killer Axe. I think we should freeze him. So we'll freeze 1. And then we'll figure out what to do with the rest. Yeah, too bad we just haven't absorbed 1 extra attack from this ballista. That causes so many problems. So many problems. Yeah, because he's only going to be within 2 range. That's okay, then. Okay, let's go Thoron. If she misses, that's actually okay. It'll freeze him in place, it'll lower his stats, and then we'll pull her out with Engage. Either that, or we can even Chain Guard her, but might not be a good idea because we have so many other attackers coming in. I think this move is right. I like it.
Be honest with yourself. What do you want?
I want to level you up to 20.
Life is not a simple path, and mistakes are only mistakes. You have faced your own weaknesses before.
This is a character-specific interaction. I think it might be. Anyway, it hits him. Great. Drops him down quite a bit. You can kind of take her out from there after that. Now, what we can do from this point on is... Pendreo might be hit by 1 ballista down there. What we don't want to do is put people in the spots where ballista would overlap. Because what's the safety zone of ballista? It is this square. But anything from this point on can be hit twice. So yeah, she definitely needs to get pulled out of there. But then the question is what we do with the rest. If we go Pendreo up here, takes it up by 14. We at least get rid of 1 guy. And then we can get Jean to fight up there. And Ivy's resistance is decent. It's slow enough after using Thunder, though, that she's going to get doubled by... No, she's going to get pulled out anyways. That's fine. We'll rescue her out. No, she's gonna be fine. We'll rescue her out. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's this? Oh, that's just a range on the other guys. Yeah. That's fine, because we'll kill some of them. Okay, Citrina's going to go here. She's going to rescue. It must happen. There's no alternative, so... And of course, it's going to dump her right in the spot that is still within enemy range. That's okay, we'll just take some of that out. It won't hit for too much anyway. 29 and 33, each of them multiplied by 2. Yeah, it'll do a little bit of chip damage at most. It's not going to be a problem now that she's been pulled out. Jean and Erica, I feel like we should actually engage Jean at this point, whether we need it or not, because the additional attack will be useful. Yeah, 10% hit on this guy, and we'll take out the Thoron, which will be good. I'm a little concerned that we'll still have too many attackers left alive at the end of this, but because we have a pretty big issue with my avatar kind of being in the middle of nowhere here, and also being within ballista range. This is actually a little bit of a problem, because we've got so many attackers coming in. I say we definitely take out Thoron, though. Let's see what his speed is. 29. Yeah, fine. Yeah, if I were more confident that the ballista wouldn't completely take me out, it would be a little easier to work with, but unfortunately we know it's going to be a problem. So we need to drop doubles, and hopefully they bait some attacks. The other thing I can do, in fact, is use Pendreo to trade for the rescue staff and also pull her out with the rescue staff. The problem with that is that that potentially still lands her in this spot, which unfortunately is within ballista range. Because it seems like we did have Citrin pulled into the forward position, or rather Ivy pulled into the forward position, which we can't really afford to do. Like, the idea would be that you come down here, you trade with Citrin, you pull Chloe, and then she would be back here potentially, which would then get hit. I mean, maybe one ballista shot is survivable, but I don't want to depend on that when I don't have the type effectiveness calculation at the back of my head. Yeah, speed 3 against these guys, we need to remember that too, that speed 3 was a problem. Luckily, everybody here is pretty fast. Oh yeah, Seedall might die. That is not good. We would need to just drop some doubles here. Andrea can kill this. Yeah, we just need to get in and kill stuff. That is the short of it. And Vendreo could potentially trade for a lightning attack as well. Somebody? No, he doesn't really have that. But he'd need to be out of range of somebody here anyway. Anyway, let's attack. Shielding Art. Do we need Shielding Art? Yes, we do, because Flashing Fist would have the additional 5 incoming that we can't really afford right now. Let's take out the Thoron. Thoron's going to be the biggest issue here.
That must have hurt.
Difficult turn, but we'll do it. Yeah, Leaf is out of range. That's great. We'll continue to freeze Leaf In fact, we can continue to lock him down with Ivy every turn without too many issues. The issue right now is mainly just making sure everybody stays alive, especially because, you know, Ballista is likely to try to take out one of her doubles. And Seedall is looking very, very exposed right now, with fairly low avoidance as well. So what do we have here? I think we need to take somebody out using Pendreo. You can go here, but then, again, you're vulnerable to 2 separate ballista attacks. Even one ballista attack is going to do quite a number on him. Luckily, magic will do nothing against him, which is good, but the 29 from the Silver Sword would do 14 on him, which is risky. Yeah, we need to figure out where to drop doubles, basically. Because Chloe needs to pull out. If she drops 4 doubles here, we don't actually have a convenient attacking location for Pendreo that doesn't get into issues. Although... yeah, the magic attackers will do nothing against him, so it's mostly this guy that we're worried about. Plus Ballista, but if he's going to be hit by that stuff anyway, then Pendreo should actually go here. And he takes this out. And you have 2 magic attackers that do nothing, 1 bow that's potentially going to hit him very, very hard. Can he ever get within Ballista range? That's the thing. Might not be able to. We might have to revive that idea of pulling back with the staff, or even using Convoy, or trading off with Seedall if one of these staves are useful. Rescue, freeze. Oh, he's got a rescue staff. Okay. Oh, hey, no, we've got it. We've got it. Okay, so Seedall is here. Pendreo comes here. We trade for the single rescue staff, which I had here just in case of a situation like this. These 3 spots are all saved from the Ballista. You can use the Ballista to pull Chloe back out. Chloe can basically drop doubles, therefore, anywhere she wants. And maybe even attack in, but she'll want to drop doubles. And then you rescue her out after that. Okay. So Pendreo goes here. Trade, rescue. Chloe will therefore drop doubles probably here, here, here. And wall that off. No, because she needs to block this off as well. Probably this location. Create 3 doubles out of 4. There's no good location to create 4, so you don't have to be content with 3. And there's going to be one that's, you know, separated from everything else. Yeah, that really does still leave Seedall very exposed. Maybe over here. Drops here, here, and here. But then, yeah, down here I'm still exposed. Because 3 magic attacks are possible here, and that creates big problems. So here is good, because then nobody can get within 2 range of this location. But then they're going to try to mob Seedall up there, and that's a problem. They might actually die. Yeah, because they can all just run around him. You might even just need to take out 1 attacker instead of dropping doubles, and with 1 attacker down... it's going to be so ugly. So ugly. Drop 3 over here. Then they come out and attack this way. It's res 14. Yeah, this is a massive problem all around. This may not have been wise. after all. So we may have spent a ton of time on a turn that just fundamentally doesn't work conceptually. And we still have to take care of Louis down here. She's going to come here, drop 1, 2, 3. Pull her out. Drop 1, 2, 3. Pull her out. The issue is the AI for the attack priority, whether they're going to try to get in to kill this guy. I think generally the AI tries to prioritize one-shots if it can do them, which is why they often try to prioritize the doubles before attacking into my units, unless, of course, they have a one-shot attack on one of my units, which is potentially an issue. So I think she's going to drop it here. And we'll just have to hope for the best when it comes to Seed All. Yeah, it doesn't really obstruct everybody as much as I would like, but... And they are vulnerable to the Ballista as well, which is a problem. But I think we'll do it this way, and then we'll pull her out. Again, using the trade for the rescue, which we'll trade off with probably Physic, because we might want Warp to be available next turn, so I'm going to put Shielding Art on him as well, probably. Yes, actually, we do want that, because... no, he's not in Ballista range, so he's fine. So we'll stay on Hellfire. We'll go rescue with the staff and pull Chloe back out. I don't know if this is going to work at all. This might be a total disaster. Might be a complete fiasco, in fact. Oh yeah, we need to deal with this guy who's the mage down here so far. That's fine. We just pull him back here and that'll take care of it. Best case scenario, we have the enemy attack into a lot of the doubles or into units with a low hit. Let's see if they all gang up and Seed All. That's the main scenario I'm afraid of. They're going to go for it, but will it happen? It will not. Okay, that's double. Okay. I was very concerned about that for a moment. Okay, that's fine. That'll also go for double. We will barely survive this. That was rough. And I was not certain that was going to work at all, so... Very difficult turn to calculate and plan. Hey, look at that crit. Amazing. 20% crit everywhere we go. Crit after crit after crit. Actually, that's beautiful. He's just going to take out that whole cluster by himself, which is what Louis does when you just have physical attackers in the mix. Okay, here's another turn. We'll do the same kind of thing. We're going to try to freeze Leaf. I still have one turn left on Chloe and Lynn. And we still have one double on the board. That's fine. We'll use her to attack. We will freeze Leaf once again and deal with him last. I probably won't have too much of an opportunity to deal with these guys up here, unfortunately. Ballista is still a problem up here. Still a big problem, potentially. Considering that even with the Shielding Art, Jean got taken down by half. Did I seriously take the Physics Staff off Pendreo? That might not have been smart, because I do need a range heal on him at some point. Okay. And I'm also out of range of Leaf, except I still have Marin here to give her a push, which we'll probably still have to do. Alright then, in that case. And let's not use Citrin yet, because it's entirely possible she'll need a rescue staff, except we need to move her in order to get Ivy out. So, logically speaking, Citrin can't rescue Ivy. Although we always succeed all to kind of double up on any attack of our choosing, so maybe that's not an issue. How many attackers do we need to take out? 4, or of course we can just go directly for Leaf and burn him down quickly, which can happen. If we can take out this guy, who's low defense, if we just come down here with Lyn and attack. We might want to save Lyn for a big attack on Leaf, though, so I don't want to use her like this just yet. Let's think about that. Yeah, because she's still got the bow available rather than the lance that she's usually holding. So if we can take this guy out by other means, that would be preferred. But that's okay, you have 2 attacks going into that. Yeah, probably Citron taking this guy out. Yeah, we might just go aggressive, and if we need a rescue, we can just trade off rescue staves again, potentially. Aaron pushes Ivy, Ivy gets over here, probably another Thunder attack on Leaf. That will freeze him. And possibly hit him. And then we would definitely still need to pull her out with a rescue, which may be an issue. Which means that we cannot attack in with Andreo, at least not right away. Okay, we'll have to do it this way. Citron. We'll go L Thunder. Next, we need that to be removed. No, next we need Marin to shove. Amazing ability, as always. %against a light brand, which is good. If we can hit with something else, then we burn him down twice. Because then if we can actually one-shot Leaf with something like the... what's it called again? Flashing Fist. Still has sturdy magic attack, but that's okay because Jean has amazing magic defense. And can even do the Twin Strike. So Seedall is not within range to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, no, he would be within range once you move everything out. Just not against the current position. Okay, no, then you get Jean up here. You just potentially hit Leaf twice and then you're done. That depends entirely on this landing first, though. So we'll want to land it first.
It's
Good. Okay, we should be able to win it this turn. We just won't be able to do the optional objective right away if we play this way. But if there's anything else that we need to remove from the board, then we can do that. Do I have any ranged attack whatsoever? Sword of the Creator, I'd forgotten I had that. You know what? Sword of the Creator, we'll just take this out. Right, because I just recently got Violet up to 15 this map, in fact. Which is why I hadn't used it previously. Oh, that solves so many problems, actually. Let's just do it.
As expected.
It solves so many problems. Found a lost item and returned it. I don't understand the lost item thing that's going on here. What did he lose? At what point did I lose items? I don't know when that actually happen? We'll see. It might be a support thing. Support-related thing rather than something strictly mechanical, but...
hurt.
Yeah, he's not even engaged yet. That's part of the issue. Flashing Fist will not quite kill, which is a problem. I was hoping it would kill. It gets very, very close. I would need to do an additional tap attack or something, which means we should look at doing Chloe and Lynn here instead. As Chloe and Lynn would get pretty close, but not quite. Killer Bow, we could go for the crit on that. Can we take him out in 3 attacks, or do we need 4? That's the main thing that's going to be the mystery here. Let's... Andreo can do this with Hellfire, but we can't get everybody into position. We are just a little bit short of the damage that I need to take him out. However, he is frozen. Which means that if we just play risk averse, leave him frozen, and kill off the other 2, then we might be okay. Yeah, because we can still use the rescue staff to pull Ivy back out. Actually, this guy no longer has a ballista, so we're only dealing with 1 ballista, which is great. Yeah, that's important, in fact. We only have 1 ballista on the board. Which means that everything up to this point is safe, which means I probably shouldn't have put Ivy that far in. That's okay. No. So we can, for example, put Chloe and Lynn here to take this guy out. And then do something else up here to take this guy out, but then you'd have to do it at range. Such that you don't get stuffed by the Thoron. Either that or we go for Leaf immediately, but that seems to be dependent on a crit from somebody, probably. So for example, if we go Flashing Fist... actually, you know what? We go Engage. Twin Strike might actually do a complete hit. If Twin Strike does a complete hit... No, it doesn't. Because of Leaf's defensive properties. Nice thing about this attack, at least, is that it heals up, but it doesn't help me if it doesn't kill him. It falls just short. What we actually need is to refresh my avatar, because then if we can get 4 attacks onto Leaf. Actually, no, that will work, because you do Sword of Creator at range. Then that solves the 3 damage problem using adjacency. As well as potentially no, you'd still have 2 attacks to account for. No, because 1 attack will kill completely, and so yeah, no, that does in fact solve it. So the solution here is to use Seedall to reload my avatar instead. Then you use that to attack from 2 range. Sword of the Creator. Sword of the Creator will do a certain amount of damage. I don't exactly know how much. Let's take a look here. Because the type effectiveness will be an issue. It'll switch him over to Master Lance, which is not great. If it switches him over to the Master Lance, it still does 32, but then there will be a -7 penalty to it. -7 penalty means that 32 damage against him, the speed will be decent, at least, I think. Yeah, it'll do 2 attacks. 32 over 21. 7. Yeah, it'll just be a tiny bit of chip damage, but that might be enough given that. How many points are we missing here? We're only missing 8 points of damage, and chain attacks potentially matter, so where's that chain attack even coming from? Okay, anyway. Let's do it this way. This should work. It's a crazy play, but it should work. We'll pull him out. Sort of creator. Is not going to do much damage, but will not take much from response. And more importantly, we'll get him into an advantageous position.
I have been waiting.
Of course, Leaf.
Then let us begin.
I won't falter.
And look at that, the crit is very nice. Because then you have a couple of options now. You can go Chloe and Lynn, who will definitely get in there. We have to take it into account the fact that Leaf has advantage and will attack first, and that's fine. He's not going to do enough for that to matter, I don't think. And that's... yeah, you'll be able to burn him down for 54 after that on the next round, which is also okay, because that will in fact kill him. See what Pendreo does, because maybe I can maximize some of my HP gains here. 38. That's also 100%. So we can also continue to kill other stuff in the meantime. So we're going to do that, in fact. And just farm all the experience we can. While we can. It's not going to be very much. It's a tiny bit. In fact. Now, but we have a couple of attacks remaining. Then we can, for instance, just take this guy out directly. I mean, we can kind of consider locking him down to go for the optional objective, which is not impossible. That would require me to take out this one, though, and we do run into ballista problems because I have not been dealing with the ballista at all, and yeah, it's very tempting to go for this because we probably have the means to do it. But I didn't really plan adequately for that on this turn, and so we have issues with being hit from both sides, particularly by the ballista, which is a massive issue here. So yeah, let's not bother with it, perhaps. I don't like leaving optional objectives on the table, but particularly because, you know, it seems like if you want to do this fight the proper way, you should go for this and you go to Meteor, but there's a lot of turns to keep him locked down while trying to deal with the second ballista as well for at least 2 more shots, which we just haven't planned around. I think we'll just go for the win this turn, unfortunately. It would be nice to show off the proper win condition by taking out everything, like we did on a previous map with Sigurd. It's kind of nice to have these optional objectives available. I kind of want to do it, but I'd have to reverse the turn probably to change a few things to do that properly. And should we bother? I don't know. Yeah, because he's kind of within range of hitting here, even if it's not for very much, and with a low percentage. This will hit. It's just too much stuff to deal with, I think. If we planned ahead, we probably could have done it. It's kind of hard to keep them locked into position while you just go off and chase the objective. Like, you basically need to use and refresh what's her name repeatedly. Ivy. You know, just kind of continually take her back here and dump on him in 3 range to freeze him out, and then on a refresh have Seed all there to kind of do the instant reload. But yeah. I think we'll just go for the clear. I just haven't planned for this enough. 2,000 though, eh. I mean, it's more the moral sense victory of doing everything cleanly. Yeah, so let's... Oh. Take a look at this. What is this? I wonder why it... stacked... Oh yeah, I see. Because that just stacks on John. Just looking at the interface. Yeah, so no, we're going to get the first kill with Pendro. The reasoning behind that is that you would come over here and then hit. And then just to maximize the number of kills we have on the board. Or whatever that is worth. So yeah, too bad about the optional objective. Let's just forego it.
Not yet.
Nice chunk of XP, of course, from taking out the boss. So... yeah, we'll just take that guy out. Let's maybe make sure that the kill is in fact going to happen. Yeah, you do need to have engage on to do it, but it will happen. And it will even happen with a self-heal, so... MVP here, by the way, is Marin, constantly pushing Ivy back into position to do what she needs to do. So we'll kill this first.
Excuse me.
Just to be fancy.
A good wind.
And yeah, we'll need to be in this position. I don't think this makes any difference. Or the night and day power, which we won't use because we don't want to burn the turn on it. And yeah, that'll pretty much be the turn. Too bad we had Anna and Fugato stuck on the left side for a whole map. But we didn't know the bridge mechanic was going to happen, so let's just get the kill shot and get it over with. And sure, we'll just watch the animation at full speed, just
I lose.
for the style points. Yeah, it didn't quite go completionist here when it came to the optional objectives, but then we missed the first lootable character to begin with when the fellow with the pure water just ran off. Anyway, that was another map that took over 3 hours to do, and it will be the only one we do today as a consequence. But so things will hopefully get a little bit breezier going back to the main story. We do have 4 remaining Emblem paralogs
still got a
to deal
long way
with.
to go.
That
I
would be
appreciate your guidance.
Mart, Celica, Roy, and Micaiah in some order. And I don't know when they'll unlock, or when their paralogs will consequently become available, but I would assume it's fairly soon. Maybe even after the next chapter.
Guidance.
Maybe even 2 at once, like we
Interesting
saw
word
here.
choice.
Although, I guess Fire Emblem 4 and 5 here with Sigurd and Leaf do kind of go together as a pair. From what I understand.
I believe I understand now why the trial was located here.
Oh?
I was a young prince, inexperienced in leading an army. On the day of this battle, once blood is spilled, life is a series of choices. There is no way for one to know. All we can do is make the future into something such as the responsibility of a guide.
Thank you, Leaf. for sharing your story with me. I will work to build a good future.
Here, on the shores of this beautiful river.
Anyway, we'll see what is unlocked between levels 10 and 20 with the maximum bond that we have. Because one of the nice things about Leaf is that whoever is paired with him can stack a ton of build, which is kind of a speed equivalent and stacks nicely with speed for handling heavy weapons. I'd been thinking about putting him on archers anyway because of his armor penetration abilities, but obviously the way that he was set up in this battle to take advantage of having total defense against the weapon triangle and countering everything is
Utterly astounding.
ideal. Of course, we never had to deal with any of his incoming attacks because we just froze him using Corrin's power. And I quite like what we had going with Corrin there. We hadn't used that so heavily before with using the pairing with Ivy to basically freeze enemies from 3 range using Thoron. That seemed to work extremely well. And of course the Dragon Vein in conjunction with Chain Guard as well meant I could just Chain Guard turn after turn without losing any tempo. So that was definitely, I think, one of the tactical highlights of the map was using Ivy and Corrin that way. It was something that I hadn't necessarily planned on, but which certainly worked out for the best. And obviously having Louis take out entire quadrants of the map by himself is, as always, lots of fun. Reminds me of how we played the earliest chapters of this game, when we paired him with Sigurd to just basically land Louis in the middle of the map and let him do his thing.
A moment, please. Oh.
That will probably be it for this stream now. So let's just... Oh, first of all, take a look at the Leaf. We had him previous on Alcris, so we'll just put him back for the time being. Tentatively, before we've had a proper look at this. And in terms of what he has from levels 11 through 20, Vantage Plus... Vantage based on 50%, that's what we fought against just now, I think. Vantage plus plus, in fact. Where he pretty much always just counters first. And yeah, so... Weapon Triangle Expert. On to go. We'll see how the world map is looking. We'll probably log off from there. We'll take a look at the Bond conversation with Jean first, and then we'll probably, yeah, just get him unlocked with Erica.
Emblems are all mind, right? I suppose I am something of a worrier.
Okay, as far as supports go, we'll look at some of these later. I think we're probably in good shape in the general sense. But that about does it for the Bridges in a Row Paralog. Next map in the rotation will be back to the main adventure, and that's going to take us over to, what is it, Road to Elusia, Chapter 18. So we'll soon get to that. So we'll see how soon. It's possibly going to be tomorrow. And Advanced Class Level 5, it'll be back to something comparatively breezy, I'm sure. Depending on the scale of the adventure. We just had 2 fairly lengthy maps. This last one in particular, but then that's what happens when you have very complicated turns that take about an hour to map out properly. And that's going to be it for today, though.